following is a presentation of Charter Communications and Charter Media.
It's week 10 of the 2010 high school football season, and many teams across the state have secured playoff berths. For another group, the possibility of postseason play hangs in the balance, while for others, the playoffs will have to wait until next year. The Alcoa Tornadoes have marched through their first 9 games of the season with a powerful running attack and enter week 10 with an undefeated mark of 9-0 and a #1 ranking in Class 3A. Like Alcoa, the Warriors of the Christian Academy of Knoxville have yet to experience the bitter taste of defeat this year. With a passing attack that has electrified crowds all season long, the Warriors are ranked #2 in Class 3A. Tonight, from Goddard Field, it's a battle for the District 4 3A crown as Alcoa hosts CAK. The season finale of Friday Night Gridiron starts now.
5, 6, 7, 8!
Well, welcome to the season finale of Friday Night Gridiron, folks. I'm Norman Plumley along with Roddy Woods and Chuck Jones as always. And tonight we close out this 2010 campaign at Goddard Field where the Alcoa Tornadoes host the CAK Warriors, a big district showdown. This is for all the marbles. It features the state's #1 and 2 teams, both undefeated, 9-0 overall, 4-0 in district play, and a lot on the line. It's obvious here tonight at Alcoa High School. Roddy, these Alcoa Tornadoes come in here on just a huge wave this year, a big running attack leading them to a 9-0 start.
Yes, Norman, they have. I look for a physical game from Alcoa, and I know CAK's got a great package for their offense, but I'll tell you what, Alcoa's running game is the key to this game for them tonight.
Well, it is. Chuck, these CAK Warriors, they're 9-0, 4-0 in the district like we said, but they've not faced an opponent like the Alcoa Tornadoes this year.
But you know, a lot of people can say that, and we've seen winning streaks before. We've seen good programs before. You're 2 bad snaps or a fumble here and there away from losing a ball game, even if you are a better team, better prepared, better athletes. I'm not necessarily saying that's the case, but anybody can be beaten on a Friday night, and Alcoa's got to play their football game.
Well, this is the Gatorade BP Kenjo pregame show of Friday Night Gridiron. Right now, this reminder, text the word Gridiron to 74642. When you do, you'll receive a text coupon on your phone. Take that in, show it to anybody at a BP Kenjo market in the area, and you'll receive a 20-ounce Gatorade for only $1. Again, the word Gridiron, 74642, limit 5 per visit, please. Right now, a break on the program. When we come back, we'll break down the CAK Warriors. Stay with us. Friday Night Gridiron continues in a moment.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
You can never get the card swipe in the first try. It's always upside down or backwards. Once you finally get it, the interrogation begins. All you really want is some gas. You answer all the questions and pump your gas, but what you don't get is your receipt. At Kenjo Markets, we realize that it's the little things that can ruin your whole day. Visit any Kenjo Market, and if you have to come inside for your receipt, we'll apologize. And then we'll buy you a cup of coffee or the fountain drink of your choice. Because whenever you see the running Indian, we want you to think about convenience, not inconvenience.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, parents would drive to the end of the earth to find help. But the only road they need to travel is here, to East Tennessee Children's Hospital.
We have the expertise and resources to treat everything a young cancer patient is dealing with.
Children's Hospital is a member of the Children's Oncology Group, a nationwide network of hospitals that ensures children with cancer receive the same high-quality care, no matter where they live.
Our membership in the Children's Oncology Group allows us at Children's Hospital to use the same protocols for treating childhood cancer that are used at leading centers around the Southeast and throughout the country.
It's the best care available from diagnosis to treatment without leaving East Tennessee.
We traveled from La Follette to receive care when Jake had cancer, and now he's been cancer-free for 4 years.
It's the treatment we would provide for our own children.
Cancer care has changed dramatically over the years, and Children's Hospital has changed with the times. That's another way they are leading the way to healthy children.
Friday Night Gridiron on Charter Hometown is sponsored by the Airport Motor Mile. Visit us online at theairportmotormile.com. Also sponsored by East Tennessee Children's Hospital, Gatorade and BP Kenjo Markets, Lowe's Drugs, Furniture Factory Outlet, and Witt's Barbecue.
Well, welcome back to the Gatorade BP Kenjo pregame show here on Friday Night Gridiron. Tonight it's CAK and Alcoa, and right now let's break down the Warriors. Chuck, this CAK team comes into this game, huge passing attack, courtesy of Quinn Epperly, their quarterback. He's thrown for over 2,200 yards this year and some big receivers that he likes to toss it around the yard to.
Well, he likes to throw the ball around. We've seen him a couple of years do this with a great amount of success. It's a very disciplined attack. They throw it to spots on occasion. I think the key here is looking at his wideouts, Howell and Smith. These young men have caught the ball for over 1,500 yards between them, but they're 10th graders, and I just have to wonder, have they faced the type of outside pressure that I expect Alcoa to present to them? And you'd have to say not many people have, and I'm not sure they would be any different. So it's going to be a difficult challenge. If they can get open, Epperly can get them the pig.
Now, defensively, the Warriors not too shabby. They've sacked the quarterback 40 times this year, picked off 10 passes for interceptions. But one thing that jumped out to me in looking at their front four, their defensive ends, both are under 200 pounds, one of them 177, the other 198. Their tackles go 257 and 236.
We haven't seen them play, so I'm going to make a stab at it. They have to bring pressure up from elsewhere. And what that means is they're going to leave people isolated in coverage. They're going to have some man-on-man, some 50-50 balls potentially. Alcoa doesn't throw a lot, and when they do, you get a lot of 50-50 balls thrown, jump balls, if you will, spot patterns. Tell their bigger receivers to go get the football, and if it comes down to it, I think that's the passing attack the Tornadoes will employ this evening.
Now, Roddy, I know you had a chance to check in with Rusty Bradley, the head coach for the CAK Warriors. Tell me about some of his thoughts coming into this contest.
Well, Norman, I did catch up with Coach Bradley, and my one question, the main question was, what do you do defensively to stop Alcoa's powerful running game?
I think defensively we got to get hats to the ball. We can't just bring them down with one guy. We've got to tackle well. Our defense has to do a good job of filling their gaps and getting guys to the football and gang tackle. One guy is not going to bring their backs down, and so we got to get as many hats to the football as possible.
Second question, how does your passing attack figure into tonight's game, which Alcoa's stingy defense has only given up 600 yards this year in passing?
We're going to have to throw the ball. The thing about their defense is they play very, very fast, and so what we have to do within our passing game is be smart with the football, be decisive and get the ball out of our hand and take the 4, 5, 6-yard completions. That's a great run play in our offense. So we just have to try to control the clock by throwing the football and getting first downs and hopefully keeping their offense off the field.
Well, there you have it, Rusty Bradley, the head coach for CAK. In theory, on paper, it's simple. In real life, might be difficult tonight for the Warriors. Right now, another break on the Gatorade BP Kenjo pregame show. When we come back, we'll break down the Tornadoes. Stay with us. Friday Night Gridiron continues in a moment.
Throw your hands up, clench your fist with pride. Hold your head high, no need solution, the only solution, Evolve.
At Lowe's Pharmacy, we believe that your health care is extremely important. That's why our staff is always on hand to answer any questions you may have. Our friendly staff and unique way of treating you like family is why we've been your neighborhood pharmacy since 1954. We are a full-service pharmacy and medical equipment dealer serving Blount and surrounding counties. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 1 to 6, Lowe's is always here for you. You'll like Lowe's. It's convenient.
Passion, commitment, dedication, fairness, striving for excellence. These are the qualities of our local high school football players and programs, a pride that is ingrained into our efforts in our community. At Furniture Factory Outlet, we share these qualities in our service to you, and with our commitment to Friday Night Gridiron, we support our local community and all its players. After all, we're all part of the same team. Furniture Factory Outlet, a division of Fowler's Furniture.
Well, welcome back to the Gatorade BP Kenjo pregame show here on Friday Night Gridiron. We've talked about the Warriors for CAK. Let's take a look at these tornadoes, these homestanding tornadoes for Alcoa. Chuck, Alcoa, 48 points a game. They're throwing up some big numbers. They've amassed over 3,000 total yards in offense this year, and the majority of it, almost 2,600 of it, have been on the ground. Just a huge rushing attack for Alcoa.
Alcoa is different now than they've been in a number of years, but of course they were this way last year. Say the last 2 seasons, they can come straight at you now. You know, they don't have to finesse you and rely on skill position advantages. They can come straight at you. And when they come straight at you, you best not miss. There better not be any arm tackling, because that means no tackling. And, you know, they can score from anywhere on the field. Now, consider the mercy rule that we have in effect in Tennessee football the last few seasons. A lot of these mercy rules have been put in effect early in the third quarter of ball games. They're putting up these numbers in abbreviated time frames. With a rushing attack, it's got to be intimidating.
Yeah, just to expound basically on what you said, Darrell Warren, 15 touchdowns on the year, but that's not in 4 quarters every game. He's basically playing about half a game, so you do the math, and he's putting up some huge numbers. Now, defensively for Alcoa, extremely stingy. They're giving up just over 6 points a game. They've sacked the quarterback 36 times in 9 games. That's a 4 per game average. Very good and very fast defense for Alcoa.
Well, the speed, again, is something that has been a hallmark here at Alcoa for a number of years. But look at that size. Now, these same men play both ways. That is the one thing about 3A or classifications, 2 or single A. You're going to get a lot of two-way players. When you've got your quarterback playing, safety on the other side of the ball, you're playing those same kids. Those same big men, tackle to tackle, and those running backs, Warren and Tyson, they're out there playing defense, and they can cover ground too. It's a dynamic type of high school program you just don't see every day.
You saw the seniors on the screen there just a moment ago. They're being introduced. It is senior night, the last regular season home game for Alcoa tonight at Goddard Field. Now, Roddy, I know you caught up with Gary Rankin as well. Some of his pregame thoughts before this contest.
Well, Norman, the number one question I asked Coach Rankin was, he's seen a lot of different defenses on his way to this 9-0 season. What does he expect from CAK tonight?
See the same that we've seen for the last 3 or 4 years. They've got a system and they don't change it, and we've got a system and we don't change it. So I think both squads are very familiar with each other, and it'll come down to what teams, players make plays and stuff. And I'm sure there'll be a little wrinkle here and there, but you're 9-0, you don't start changing many things.
Good question. Good answer. Heading into the playoffs tonight, this could decide all who you play at, but it's a playoff game basically for you Alcoa Tornadoes, correct?
Well, it basically is. I mean, there's 2 undefeated teams and ranked first and second in their division, and it's going to be a great game, and there's a lot riding on it.
Keys to tonight's success?
Well, our key is always not to have any turnovers on offense, protect the ball, and try to play good, sound defense and be sound in the kicking game.
Well, there you have it, some of the pregame thoughts from Alcoa head coach Gary Rankin. And right now, time to take a look at our keys to the game. And Chuck, if you'll do the honors.
Well, I think it's obvious for the Warriors. I've got to stop the tornado run game. Divert or
contain, maybe.
Well, I don't know if you can contain. If you can slow down and stumble, they need a turnover. They need to get somebody to lay the ball down, and we just haven't seen it very often. They need to try to get some third and long situations that make Talent try to throw the football. He can throw it, but he just hasn't had a lot of game time experience doing it because they haven't needed him. you just have to bank on potentially he's not ready to do so. And they themselves need to not turn the football over. I think the real key is that we know they're going to throw the ball around. Those same skill position players you have to be so afraid of on the Alcoa offense, they're in that defensive backfield, and if they get the turnover, they're in space, and so that can create its own set of problems. Alcoa needs to force Epperly to move around. Don't let that kid stand back there with his arm and his outstanding accuracy and pick you apart. Cover the short routes tight. I got a feeling that those big defensive ends are going to be able to put pressure on Epperly. It means he's going to have 2-3 seconds to look. They're going to be up tight on those short routes, and they need to be, I say control the ball, but when you can score as quickly as they can, as long as it's on the ground, that's just as good.
Well, again, both teams 9-0 overall, 4-0 in district play. And speaking of district play, Alcoa and CAK in District 4-3A, they share that with Stone Memorial, Loudon, Scott High, and Kingston. So 5 district games. If you take a look at the graphic here, common opponents this year and how each team fared against each opponent. The one that really jumps out to me, guys, is that Loudon game. Alcoa took care of business 42-3. CAK had a little bit harder time, only a 3-point victory, 48-45. Other than that, pretty lopsided games, especially on Alcoa's side, but CAK handling Stone Memorial easily, Scott High easily, and obviously doubling up Kingston. But that Loudon game really jumps out, and exactly what kind of indicator that is, I don't know. But it jumped out to me in doing a little research on tonight's matchup. Either of you have a thought on what we see right there?
Yeah, I would actually mark that one out and consider it not, because let's remember how the Loudon Alcoa game unfolded with their quarterback getting injured, and many of those points that you see in the left-hand side for Alcoa were scored by their defense against a freshman quarterback. We saw him make his first 5 attempts. 4 of them were complete, and I believe 3 of them were to the Tornadoes. I would scratch that one off and consider it not. The rest of it, certainly you can make an argument for that. I wonder about those shortened game frames as well, given the score differential on the Alcoa side of the ledger. The fact is, if Alcoa takes care of the football, they're the better team. They're the best team probably in the state and one of the best we'll ever see. But you know what? They still have to come out here and execute. They've got to hang on to that pigskin, and CAK's got to be spot on. And they've proven all year long they can be spot on. It can be a very close contest.
Should be a great game to end this 2010 season here on Friday Night Gridiron. Stay with us. The kickoff is just a few moments away. Right now, a break on the Gatorade BP Kenjo Markets pregame show. When we come back, we'll meet the starters for both teams. We're back in a moment.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
Witt's Barbecue, slow cooked the old-fashioned way. Whether you're hungry for barbecue pork, turkey, wings, or ribs, Witt's has the best around. Only fresh, tender, and delicious meat is served at Witt's, and we take pride in hand-pulling every piece. Come in for lunch or stop by our drive-thru, mention this ad, and receive a pork plate with 2 sides and a drink for only $5.99. Witt's Barbecue also caters any size event. Witt's Barbecue, give us a try. We aren't fancy, just plain good.
You can never get the card swipe in the first try. It's always upside down or backwards. Once you finally get it, the interrogation begins. All you really want is some gas. You answer all the questions and pump your gas, but what you don't get is your receipt. At Kenjo Markets, we realize that it's the little things that can ruin your whole day. Visit any Kenjo Market, and if you have to come inside for your receipt, we'll apologize. And then we'll buy you a cup of coffee or the fountain drink of your choice. Because whenever you see the running Indian, we want you to think about convenience, not inconvenience.
Well, welcome back to the Gatorade BP Kenjo Markets pregame show here on Friday Night Gridiron. Right now, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First off, for the CAK Warriors on offense. Quinn Epperly, your quarterback. Behind him is Josh Henson and Carson Pegram. Wideouts include Murchison, Howell, and Smith. Your center is Fortner. White and Rhodes, your tackles. Guards are Sharp and Alford. And your kicker is John Broyles. Defensively for CAK, Linnaeus and Walker at ends, Fortner and Powers at defensive tackles, Maddox and Henson your outside linebackers. Inside backers are Duncan and Iholtz. Corners, Scott and Meade. Your free safety is Charlie High, and Brian Newman handling the punting chores tonight for the Warriors. For Alcoa, offensively, Austin Talent, the quarterback, Taharin, Tyson, and Darrell Warren behind him at fullback, tailback, respectively. Split end is Stephen Isom. Flanker, Lawan Warfield, and your tight end is Dalton Owenby. Center, John Rankin. Tackles are Loy and Manuel. Guards, Mangum and Evans, and Roberto Castro is your kicker. Defensively for the Tornadoes, Henry, Johnson at ends, Tate, and Revels at tackles. Warren, Coco, Crenshaw, and Patrick in the 4 linebacker set tonight. Defensive backs, Talent and Hambrick, and your free safety is Isom, and Mr. Isom also handling the punting chores for the Alcoa Tornadoes. Right now, one final break on the Gatorade BP Kenjo Markets pregame. When we come back, the kickoff between Alcoa and CAK for the district title. Stay with us, folks. It starts in a moment.
The before, the swagger, the flow, the B vitamins and carbs to ignite, the expectation, the destiny, the during, the statement, the struggle, the hustle, the toll, the fuel to perform, the original Gatorade. The after, the cheer, the gratitude, the resolve, the electrolytes to hydrate, the protein to recover. Introducing the G Series from Gatorade. Prime, perform, recover.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
Our national anthem as performed by the Alcoa High School Marching Band. Welcome to Friday Night Gridiron, folks. It's Alcoa and CAK for the District 4 3A title. We're at Goddard Field tonight. Glad you're joining us on Charter Main Street, Channel 16 in the Blount County, West Knoxville, Loudoun County, and Monroe County areas. Norman Plumley, Chuck Jones, Roddy Wood positioned strategically on the sidelines as always, and we are awaiting the arrival of both teams on the field here in just a few moments. A lot of pink around tonight. Of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A lot of pink in the Alcoa stands. on each team and on the field as well. As you saw just a moment ago, the A in the center of the field, representing the logo for Alcoa, painted pink tonight in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Warriors of CAK take the field, ready to take on these Tornadoes, where there will be entering the field to our right and to your right in just a moment through the large inflatable helmet. Chuck, last game of the year, the season finale. This year's flown by, and a great way to end it with a couple of undefeated teams vying for a district title.
Well, they're vying for a district title. They're vying for potentially home field advantage in the quadrant that they'll be placed in for the playoffs upcoming. And it is a big, big football game. I think it's a good benchmark game for each of these programs. I would say that most everyone would agree these two teams are in the top 5, regardless of what that AP poll might say. They are definitely one of your top couple of teams. They just happen to be neighbors. They happen to share that same district. So it's a benchmark game. They're going to know what they need to work on, because I reckon it's still the first to win 5 after this that gets to carry a big trophy home to the case.
Well, a big game, like Chuck said. A lot of folks have referred to it as the ultimate pillow fight. What do I mean by that, you say?
That'd be a good question. Tell me.
Well, Backyard Burgers has sponsored a creative and fun way for the students of both schools, CAK and Alcoa, to combine the high school football competition with helping others in need. The ultimate pillow fight. For the past 3 days, students from each schools have collected regular-sized bed pillows to benefit the Knox Area Rescue Ministries, or CARM. David Broyles, the owner of the area Knoxville and Maryville Backyard Burger locations, a quote from him: "The purpose of the bowl,
hey guys, let's have a good,
to
clean, hard-hitting ball game, okay? I know that's what Alcoa coach expects, and I know that's what Coach Bradley expects over here, okay? Who's going to be the spokesperson? Okay, I've got a regular 50-cent piece. I'm going to put it behind my back, and when you call it loud enough for number 1 to hear, I'll flip it, okay? Everybody hear a tails? It's a heads. You want the toss. You want the ball? Which goal do you want to defend? Okay, turn your back around there. Turn your back around here.
And so their little in-game action as we've mic'd our head official tonight, Mr. Benny Blackstock. And to continue my thoughts from a moment ago, David Broyles, the owner of area Knox and Maryville Backyard Burger locations, quoted as saying, "The purpose of the bowl is to increase excitement between 2 local teams, and on the side have one of our local nonprofit organizations benefit. Backyard Burgers is proud to team up with CARM to do a pillow drive as part of our theme, helping those in our own backyard. And tonight, each school will receive a $500 scholarship for participating, with an additional $500 going to the school that collects the most pillows. And a presentation will be made at halftime tonight, and we'll let you know who comes out victorious in the Backyard Burger Bowl. If you want some more information on CARM, the Knox Area Rescue Ministries, visit their website at karm.org. The Tornadoes taking the field. Warriors have already done so, and we are just moments away from CAK and Alcoa at Goddard Field. Tonight's officials: your referee, Benny Blackstock; your umpire, Jerry Barnes; linesman is Don Talbot; line judge, Steve Reynolds; your back judge, Mark Payne; and the electric clock operator is Mr. John Crockett. Pleasant night. Temperatures very nice right now, but expected to dip into the 50s as the night progresses. Glad you're joining us for this last game, this last installment of Friday Night Gridiron in this 2010 season here on Charter Main Street. Alcoa will receive the opening kickoff, and dropping back deep will be Isom, number 4, and Hambrick, number 29. Kicking it off for CAK, number 14, John Broyles. Broyles, a freshman, 5'8", 140, will do the honors of tonight's Blevins Paint Center kickoff. This will be picked up by Hambrick at the 5. Hambrick turning on the Jets near the 20. And he's ran out of bounds close to there, where Alcoa will start things 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, a return of 15 yards.
Norman, I think that one of the keys we'll see tonight is going to be defensive end play for CAK. Their defensive ends are listed at 200 pounds and 175. Those two men in that backfield, Tyson and Warren, are probably in the 235-plus bracket. They don't list them that, but I think Tyson is about 215 from the waist down.
Austin Talent, your quarterback for the Tornadoes, as they'll start at 1st and 10 from their own 20. And
they're going to start at 1st and 15 from their own 15. So not the crisp way to start it.
Nope. So penalty backs it up to the 15-yard line. And as Chuck said, 1st and 15 for the Tornadoes. Talent will work out of the gun, man in motion. And it's a keeper by Talent, and he'll gain a few yards as Alcoa opens up on the ground, to no surprise for, I think, most people here tonight. Brings up 2nd down after a gain of 3, 12 to go. Wideouts are Isom and Warfield. Owen be your tight end. Here's a handoff, ball on the ground. And we'll wait for the indication. Looks like Alcoa is going to keep it, but they'll lose a few on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, I didn't see who reached out and got a paw on the pigskin, but they simply pulled it from the grasp of Vanderbilt. Hambrick alertly getting back on the ball. This goes back to one of the keys of the game for the Warriors, and that is, you see somebody reaching and getting a hand on. Maybe they didn't. Fact is, it wound up on the turf. Hambrick got it back, but it is 3rd and long, and this is what the Warriors need to force, is poor execution and 3rd and long.
3rd and 17 from the 22. Fakes the delay give. Talent comes out near side. Pass complete up near the 39-yard line. That's number 4, Stephen Isom.
And it looks like it's going to be a little short, which means we called it from the 20 to start with. It must have surely been near the 30. But either way, it's going to be 4th down and short. They will have to punt. Isom, who's had a couple of good games kicking the ball and been, in fact, devastating in one of those games, being player of the game, not for the kicking for his offense, but equally deadly on keeping the ball away from the return man.
So Alcoa on a 4th and 2 from their own 38 will punt it away. Isom and flag stop play as some movement.
No, they got a timeout call.
Nope, you're right. So a 4th and 2 situation early. Alcoa calls the timeout. We'll take one with them. No score, 9:36 to go, 1st quarter.
Are you in pain? Are you having trouble locating a physician who understands? Foothills Pain Management in Maryville is now accepting new patients. All Blue Care, AmeriChoice, Medicare, and all other major insurance patients receive no wait scheduling. Call 865-980-7802. That's 980-7802 for your immediate evaluation today.
So my apologies. Initially, I started Alcoa 1st and 10 from the 20. It was actually around the 30. I thought my math wasn't adding up, and that's obviously why. So needless to say, 4th and 2 from the 38, and Alcoa facing an early punting situation, or the question is, do they go for it?
No, they're going for it. Look here.
Big number 73 for Alcoa, lined up in the backfield. They need 2, and I think they got it, Chuck.
Well, they went off tackle. They went right at those undersized defensive ends. And everybody for the Warriors is up in the box. They pretty well knew what was coming, but still did not have the ability to stop it there. Still a pretty good series on that first set for the Warriors. Really looked poor on the pass play, simply giving too much cushion.
Well, they needed 2. They got 3 to the 41, where they pick up the Johnson and Blair 1st and 10. Here's Talon under center this time. Man in motion. And the give straight up the middle into Warrior territory. And that's going to be number 2 for the Tornadoes.
Tyson.
That's Tyson out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down for anybody. He's going to be very difficult tackle to tackle. If the Tornadoes, can keep the ball spread, keep the splits spread as they have done all year long, then it's going to be difficult to stop those 2 big men, and that's Warren and Tyson up inside tackle to tackle. It's going to be very difficult indeed.
11-yard gain to the CAK 48, a Johnson and Blair 1st down, the 2nd of this drive and for the game for the Tornadoes. Here's Talent. A little end around. This is Hambrick. He can burn it, folks. Watch him. He's at the 40, at the 30, puts his head down near the 25-yard line where he's taken down, and another Johnson and Blair 1st down for the Tornadoes.
If we can get an opportunity to see that again, it really looked as though Hambrick was late getting to the handoff. That did not look crisp. Oh, well, he got by with it. Maybe that's how they wanted it run. It looked like he was there at least 2 strides behind. Might have allowed the defensive backfield to come across and cut him off. But a pickup of what, 20?
Officially 24
okay.
To the 24. 1st and 10. Talent. Here's a give up the middle. This is going to be Tyson, I believe, and he moves it down inside the 10-yard line. Check that. Nope, I'm right. That's Tyson, number 2. And that's going to be another Johnson and Blair 1st down, I believe. As he takes it down to the 9-yard line, so a gain of 15.
You've got them spreading out the defense. 3 wideouts means that if everyone's in the box, you may have one over coverage zone on the side with twins, but you open up that middle for secondary run support they desperately need against these oversized and quick running backs for the Tornadoes.
8th play of the drive on 1st and 9. Or 1st and goal from the 9, rather, and CAK this time wrapping Tyson up in the backfield, nothing there. So no gain brings up 2nd down. Actually, they're going to move it back a yard. So a loss of 1 brings up 2nd and goal from the 10.
Norman, if I'm on the coaching staff for Alcoa, I'm probably ready to pinch Austin Talent's head off. You saw him in there giving a little effort, trying to dive in and help move that pile. And I know somebody in the booth is up there biting their fingernails saying, "Get away from there, Dodo Bird. Don't get hurt on us. We can't afford to have you hurt. You run this thing, son."
Well, they have some good backups, 2nd and 3rd teamers, but Talent obviously the man to go for. He's brought them this far in 9 games. Here's Hambrick taking Alcoa down to the 9, maybe the 8. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You see the turf give out from under him.
Yep.
And we haven't talked a little bit about the rain that we've had earlier in the week. And we had, it didn't rain long, but it was torrential when it did come. And some of the local parks and rec fields had some trouble maintaining that water. There's no reason to expect that there's anything different here. And you saw Hambrick falling victim to the turf. They're not able to make the cutback that he saw.
Well, he got back to the 9 for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9. And I had a chance to walk the field earlier this afternoon, and it is pretty soggy. Here's Isom split out wide to the left, number 4. Here's a pitch back, Hambrick. Hambrick to the 5, 4, 3, and that's about as far as he goes on the 3rd and 9 play. So a 4th down situation. And will they try to stick it in or go for 3?
No, they're going to stick it in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even looking at the sidelines. But you don't go for it And there he turns and looks for the kicking team, looked to me like. But you don't go for it deep in your own territory, 4th and 2, and then go down there and kick 3. I don't see that. He has his reasons. They pay him money, and he's won the last however many ball games he's won. But I just don't understand that.
Well, the game was of 5 to the 4, so a 4th down situation, and Castro will come in, number 49, to hold number 88, and that is John Roy. Kick is up, and it's good, and Alcoa gets on the board first. 5:04 to go, first period. Alcoa leads CAK 3-0.
Witt's Barbecue, slow cooked the old-fashioned way. Whether you're hungry for barbecue pork, turkey, wings, or ribs, Witt's has the best around. Only fresh, tender, and delicious meat is served at Witt's, and we take pride in hand-pulling every piece. Come in for lunch or stop by our drive-thru, mention this ad, and receive a pork plate with 2 sides and a drink for only $5.99. Witt's Barbecue also caters any size event. Witt's Barbecue, give us a try. We aren't fancy, just plain good.
5 minutes, 4 seconds to go, first quarter. Alcoa goes 70 yards, 10 plays, capped off by a 21-yard Roberto Castro field goal, and Castro will do the honors on the Blevins Paint Center kickoff coming up.
You know, Norm, I certainly questioned openly that decision, and you just have to wonder, is it the earlier play was a 2-yard they needed 4 there, but you had so much to lose potentially if you didn't make it before, as opposed to that last call. That's why they pay him the money they do.
Here's Castro, and at the 25, the kickoff fumbled, but recovered by CAK, so they'll start things 1st and 10, their first possession of the night, at the, we'll call it the 25-yard line. Let's check in with Roddy Woods.
Hey guys, just wanted to touch base what you talked about, the field conditions, Norman. Field conditions look like they're in good condition, except one little spot over in the far side of the end zone. It's a little soggy over there, but everything else, the grounds crews have done a great job on tonight's field. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Roddy. We'll be checking in with Mr. Woods periodically tonight as CAK first possession here tonight is Quinn Epperly, number 2, your quarterback. Henson Pegram, your running backs. We'll check the receivers in just a moment. And here's Epperly wanting to run it. A passing quarterback, and he moves it up to about the 29-yard line, forced out of the pocket. Good run by Epperly.
Forced out of the pocket, I think, is the key to that phrase. And that's part of what I was mentioning in the pregame. I think he's going to have 3-step drops. Now, yes, he's in a shotgun formation. Yes, I understand that. But just in your mind, think what a 3-step drop is going to be like in a time frame. That's the amount of time this young man's going to have tonight. He's going to have to find short targets.
2nd and a long 5 after a 5-yard pickup for Epperly. He'll work out of the gun this time. The southpaw drops back, tosses it out here, almost in the flat. It's complete, but going to go as a loss on the play, as Alcoa defended rather well that time. The receiver, number 8, Carson Pegram, out of the backfield, a senior for CAK.
Yeah, and I think that the idea of using their speed against them there in a screen environment is the right call, or at least the right mindset. You have to wonder if some kind of inside draw, wraparound draw from that shotgun formation straight at them, stepping into those seams, might not be a better option.
1-yard loss, 3rd and 7 for the Warriors. Epperly takes his time. Man in the slot, 2 split out right. He's going to go right across the middle. Pass complete. Out past the 40-yard line as reeling it in, Davis Howell, one of Epperly's favorite targets. That's his 64th catch of the year. He averages almost 14 yards per reception. That, Johnson and Blair, 1st and 10.
And Howell is a big target. Big kid indeed, listed as just a sophomore at 6'1". Looks like he's grown through the season. Maybe he's just that slender, and it's easy to be fooled.
13-yard pickup, 1st and 10 from the 42. Two receivers position left, and Epperly again across the middle, this time incomplete. And equipment flying everywhere as defending on the play talent for Alcoa. Breaks it up, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Warriors.
Got to be impressed with Epperly. Had someone in his face taking a shot at him on the completion play moments ago. Played over here twice last year. Well, played Alcoa twice. Played over here in the playoffs last year. Had tornadoes in his face all night long and continued to step forward on that front foot and get that ball up on top and pull it into targets. They were very difficult to find. Another good throw there, defended well.
2nd and 10 for Epperly and the Warriors. Clock approaching the 3-minute mark here in this opening quarter. It's actually stopped right now. Epperly drops back, fires across the middle, and this one incomplete. As it is intended for Howell once again, but Alcoa played it very well, broke it up to bring up a 3rd down situation.
And had some time that time, did Epperly. Looked like he went back at least to the same area of the field.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would just say you might hear in the background that some of the fans felt that talent was getting there early on each of those plays. Very close. Timed it well.
Epperly out of the gun. Plenty of time now. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to look down here. Pass complete. Was he in bounds? He was. Number 5 reeling it in, Franklin Murchison. And Murchison, a sophomore, all 5'7", 136 of him, brought it in for a Johnson and Blair 1st down.
Well, all of their wideouts are sophomores, which is just exceptional. You saw Epperly moving around. Notice he rolled to his left, the left-hander. Have to wonder, if that's something Alcoa just was not ready for there.
Johnson and Blair 1st down after the 12-yard pass and catch for the Warriors. Here's a little delay give, and not much there. Epperly's numbers this year coming into this game, he was 169 for 227. That's a 74% completion rate, 2,282 yards, averaging about just over 10 yards per throw, 29 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions, not a lot considering how much he throws it around the lot.
That's a fact.
No gain on the play, still 10 yards to go now, 2nd down for CAK. Epperly, Alcoa Tornadoes in the backfield. He's going to tuck it and run it inside the 30, inside the 20. Can he make it all the way? He's out of bounds near the 10 as Epperly, a huge run. What composure as he gets it down to the 5-yard line, Chuck, and just a great run by Quinn Epperly.
Well, he stepped through and found a gap. He went north and south. Most of this run done with his head. Has a chance to throw it, realizes he's got man-on coverage down, and his wideout's not afraid to block, got him another 25 yards.
Moves it down to the 5-yard line, a 41-yard gain by Epperly, and another Johnson and Blair construction 1st down.
Yeah, notice he went to the left. Each time he's been under duress, he comes to that left-hand side.
Epperly, the give, down to the 3-yard line. And that's CAK's Carson Pegram. Pegram on the year, 555 yards coming into this game. He's got 9 TDs on the campaign.
Norm, I don't mean to keep beating that point about that left-hander, but just consider how many times, even on the collegiate level, you see basketball players who can't force a left-hander to his right. It's not what they're accustomed to, and it just seems to catch people off guard when they start going towards your strong right hand. That left-hander coming at your strong, dominant right arm.
2nd and 3 from the 3. Pass into the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. We'll take a look at it again in just a moment. But Epperly composed from the 3-yard line, and the touchdown strike to Davis Howell.
Well, we have no idea who is recruiting this Epperly. And who knows, maybe he is an outfielder or maybe a pitcher with that left hand. But you want to talk about composure? Epperly.
PAT is up and good. Let's take a look at that touchdown strike one more time.
Steps to the left,
brought a tight end all the way around. He dropped it in a zone coverage, a short drop to zone coverage. Threw it to a spot. Man slides under the pigskin, points on the board, and if you think their confidence didn't just hit the roof, better think again.
Well, not many people have scored on Alcoa this year, let alone on their opening drive. And Catholic has done, there I go.
We told you you'd do that.
I
The
knew I'd
Warriors.
do it.
We're going to call them Warriors.
The CAK Warriors have done it. With 56 seconds to go first quarter, they lead Alcoa 7-3. So another Blevins Paint Center kickoff.
You know, the only time that Alcoa has been challenged with a counter punches that the Loud Redskins threw prior to their signal caller going down at the end of the first half of play. A tight contest, and the only one that the Tornadoes have faced. And it, too, right here at Goddard Field. And these Warriors have come to do battle.
Alcoa has not returned many kickoffs this year because, well, frankly, not many people have scored to kick off, but when they do, they average 31 yards per return, and they're getting their average and more this time. To the 40, down to the 30, to the 20. Here's a kickoff return for a touchdown by Vanderbilt Hambrick.
And as I look around for you, Norm, I see no flags, and she will stand. The Tornadoes storm back.
Let's look at that one, please, one more time.
Well, found a seam, got one good block, got two good blocks, and got another gear.
Castro to attempt the PAT. And just like that, Alcoa back on top 9-7. Castro looking to make it 10-7. A shootout early at Goddard Field. The PAT up, and it's good. 42 seconds to go first quarter. Alcoa leading CAK 10-7.
Passion, commitment, dedication, fairness, striving for excellence. These are the qualities of our local high school football players and programs, a pride that is ingrained into our efforts in our community. At Furniture Factory Outlet, we share these qualities in our service to you, and with our commitment to Friday Night Gridiron, we support our local community and all its players. After all, we're all part of the same team. Furniture Factory Outlet, a division of Fowler's Furniture.
So 42 seconds to go first quarter, and a 95-yard kickoff return by Vanderbilt Hambrick puts Alcoa back on top of CAK. The score 10-7. Castro with the Blevins Paint Center kickoff upcoming.
And you know that the Warriors have to be looking for some kind of pooch kick again. Castro sent it airborne and short the first time, and the Warriors had a little trouble hanging on to the pigskin and managed to scoop it out of bounds.
Here's the kick, going to be fielded at about the 17-yard line. And up to the 30 for about a 13-yard return, where CAK will put it in play. First and 10 squarely on the 30.
Well, the Warriors have shown that they're not afraid to take a punch and come back with a counter of their own. And they're faced with that challenge here again. And having faced that challenge without their defense seeing the turf,
Epperly, your quarterback for CAK, directing that touchdown drive of 10 plays, 75 yards just a moment ago. Looks to do it again as we wind down this first quarter. Epperly out of gun. Pass is complete near midfield and going out of bounds right at midfield. That's number 5, Franklin Murchison, the sophomore.
and I think they're quite fortunate there. The Tornadoes did not get a flag for unnecessary roughness as well out of bounds. And the flag, the whistle may not have blown, but it surely should have.
First and 10, a 20-yard pickup, a Johnson and Blair first down, and from the midfield stripe, first down for CAK. Epperly looks near the 45. Pass incomplete. Defending that time for Alcoa, that's number 39, Jordan Patrick.
Very interesting dig route that time as the man comes across the set, finds a spot in between those linebackers, and then instead of squaring out to the sidelines, he actually did come back to the football just a little bit, though I know he was going away from the quarterback's position. But a very unique route, to say the least.
2nd and 10 from midfield for the Warriors. Epperly very deliberate in setting up this offense. Takes his time between plays. And out of the gun, he's going to be flushed out this time straight up the middle, and he'll actually lose a yard as they'll spot it on the CAK 49-yard line, so a loss of 1.
Yeah, the difference there was the lack of penetration by the Tornadoes, and I mean that by design. The last time or two that Epperly has found room to get out and use his wheels, it was because Alcoa had penetrated far enough to where he could step through those creases. And boy, what an exciting first frame of play.
We've played 1 quarter. Alcoa leading CAK 10-7. Back with second quarter action in a moment.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
You can never get the card swipe in the first try. It's always upside down or backwards. Once you finally get it, the interrogation begins. All you really want is some gas. You answer all the questions and pump your gas, but what you don't get is your receipt. At Ken Joe Markets, we realize that it's the little things that can ruin your whole day. Visit any Ken Joe Market, and if you have to come inside for your receipt, we'll apologize. And then we'll buy you a cup of coffee or the fountain drink of your choice. Because whenever you see the running Indian, we want you to think about convenience, not inconvenience.
1 quarter in the books, and the Tornadoes of Alcoa lead the Warriors of CAK 10-7. Electric first quarter. And I would dare say some Tornado fans a bit shocked at the end of one, Chuck, as they're not used to someone opening up on their first possession and scoring against them.
Yeah,
and trailing by only 3.
Yeah, I'd say they're as shocked as I am. They've not been more pressure applied to Epperly. But now he faces 3rd and long to open this second frame of play.
From their own 49-yard line. Corner sneaking up, Epperly dropping back. He's going to be, well, a pass complete inside the 30, 25, and inside there. And I thought he was going to get flushed out, Chuck, but you talk about composure. He hung in there and ripped it downfield for another Johnson and Blair first down. Let's check in with Roddy Woods.
Hey, guys. Thanks, Norman. Just wanted to clarify something or talk about what you guys were mentioning there. It's how important it is right now for CAK to take this ball down the field and score. After that long drive, Alcoa comes back with 1 play. My idea and what I'm thinking is they need to score right here and right quick to stay in this game. Back to you guys.
28-yard pass play, a first down for the Warriors from the Alcoa 23-yard line. Pass into the end zone, incomplete.
You know, that's the first miss by Epperly. In fact, you have to wonder whether or not that's just loosening up the field. Didn't throw it down the hash as you would expect. In fact, that ball went further outside. I'm not so sure that wasn't just lengthening the field, trying to loosen up a little bit of that zone. But Alcoa has stayed right with that zone. And oftentimes quarterbacks at this level are not going to show a great deal of accuracy. Rethink that with young Epperly.
2nd and 10 for the Warriors from the 23. Epperly checking the set, now dropping back. Pass is incomplete, complete inside the 10, 5, touchdown CAK. a little inside curl route, Chuck, and CAK gets on the board again.
Well, they run, as much as anything, it's a bubble screen. And you want to talk about execution. This group is spot on with their game. You'll notice somebody runs out there, gives a little block, gives him the inside to run to. A little bit of daylight was all he needed.
TAT is up and good, and with 11:17 to go in the half, CAK regains the lead, 14-10.
At Lowe's Pharmacy, we believe that your health care is extremely important. That's why our staff is always on hand to answer any questions you may have. Our friendly staff and unique way of treating you like family is why we've been your neighborhood pharmacy since 1954. We are a full-service pharmacy and medical equipment dealer serving Blount and surrounding counties. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 1 to 6, Lowe's is always here for you. You'll like Lowe's. It's convenient.
Fort 14-10 the score as Epperly hits Josh Smith a 25-yard touchdown strike. And Smith, all 5'9", 160 of him, a sophomore with the touchdown, his first of the night.
This is the youngest group of skill position players probably in the area and may very well be the best. They are spot on. Best group we've seen other than the homestanding squad.
From the 5-yard line, this will be Hambrick. Hambrick out past the 30 to the 35, 40, and about the 41 is where he'll finally be taken down. A return of 36 for Hambrick. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes.
Well, I got news for you, partner. If I'm coaching the team wearing white, Hambrick would have to go down on one knee and block it like a catcher the next time he feels a kick. I would kick it waist high, drive it.
They actually spotted on the 40, so the return goes for 35 yards. And on the 1st and 10 play, here's Tyson moving it up near the 45. Check that. That's Darrell Warren.
Now, Warren and Tyson should be the workhorses for the next little bit. That's where you have a decided size advantage. These men are bigger than all but one of the defenders in the front 7 for the Warriors, and I would expect to see them be used heavily over the next 6-7 minutes.
2nd and 4 following a 6-yard gain by Warren up to the 46-yard line.
Not only do they provide punishment, but it can wear down these defenders.
Here's Talent again to Warren. He moves across midfield into Warrior territory, and that's going to be good enough for another Johnson and Blair first down.
You get about one more first down that way, and the Warriors are going to have to find something to stop that overwhelming size. And as they begin to move run support up, that's where you have those one-on-one opportunities available to men like Isom out there on the outside. You can throw that ball up for an Isom or Warfield, either one.
5-yard pickup to the CAK 48.5 will round it up to 49, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Alcoa. That's Warren split out here near side of your screen. And Alcoa stays on the ground near the 42-yard line as Tyson carrying the load.
Every time they run that wing set and bring that man in motion, it seems to be a decoy to hand off up inside, and they found success with that. Watch carefully when we see that in the future. If you don't see Talent, pull that out and try to roll out into space and create something downfield to get a size mismatch.
Down to the 41, we'll call it a 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. Talent, first man through, that's Tyson. And Tyson inside the 40, where he's taken down after a short gain.
Tyson carries.
I believe Tyson has a hand that's a little bit jammed up. I didn't see exactly how he did it.
First down, 1st and 10,
It looked like he had both hands around the ball to the very end.
Moves it down to the 38. That's a 3-yard pickup and another Johnson and Blair first down for Alcoa. Under 9 to go here, first half from Goddard Field. Talent, Hambrick. Knifing his way toward the 35-yard line. Looks like it's going to be about the 36, so a gain of 2.
Hambrick carries, picked up for a gain of 2.
It certainly looks like Taharin Tyson is favoring that hand.
The gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 for Alcoa. Alcoa in the eye. And they'll go to the air. Talent, pass, incomplete, almost reeled in that time. And a good diving attempt by number 88, John Roy.
Well, it'll bring up 3rd and long. This is what we talked about. CAK needs to create 3rd down and long situations. And they're able to do so here. I'm a little bit surprised not to see Talent rolled a little further outside the box and give him that option to either make those little pitches and catches or run it, as opposed to just being a straight drop.
3rd and 8 for Alcoa. Again in the eye. Receivers 2 split left, 1 top of the screen right. Hambrick, a little delay give. He's going to get inside the 30, 25-20. He's going to score an Alcoa Tornado touchdown. Vanderbilt Hambrick from 36 yards.
And that's unfortunately what we talked about in that first part of the broadcast, and that is when you are on defense and you stop this Alcoa team repeatedly. All it takes is a missed tackle. Very patient. 1 good block there, you just missed, and then a missed tackle, and they can score from anywhere on the turf. That would have been a touchdown from 80 yards away in that scenario. Hambrick, good balance, good run.
Castro, the PAT, is up, and it's good. And Alcoa up by 3. The score 17 now to 14 for the Warriors of CAK. We're back in a moment.
Want to save big on your phone bill every month? A lot of people do, and they're switching to Charter Phone.
My friends and family are all over the place, so I had a big expensive plan for my old phone company. But I'd never rely on just my cell phone. So to save, I switched to Charter Phone. Now I talk to anyone, anytime, for one low price.
Switch to Charter Phone. You'll keep the same phone, same number, same clear sound, and more, all at a lower price. Only $29.99 a month. With a 2-hour appointment window, the switch is easy. Call now.
7 minutes, 53 seconds to go first half, and Vanderbilt Hambrick goes 36 yards for the Alcoa touchdown. Castro's PAT was good, and the Tornadoes lead the Warriors of CAK by 3, 17 to 14. Back deep for CAK. Number 27, Zach Mead. And number 8, Carson Pegram. Roberto Castro with the Blevins Paint Center kickoff. And a short kick picked up by the up-back and then fumbled at the 30-yard line. Alcoa says they got it. We'll wait for the official indication. The Tornadoes with possession. Number 33 diving in there, Jared Crenshaw, the sophomore. And suddenly momentum shifting a little further in favor of Alcoa.
Well, that's 2 out of the 3 kickoffs that have been bobbled by the Warriors. And perhaps something had been given away on film, but regardless of why this is occurring, Alcoa continues to stay with that strategy. And so far they've had 2 miscues, and they've been able to get 1 covered up for themselves. And they have the ball back following that last score. And remember from the outset, Norm, we said no turnovers for the Warriors to stay in this game. They need to come back and make a play here.
1st and 10 from the CAK 30 for Alcoa. Warren dives down to the 29. And they're actually, they give him 1. Yeah, we're going to call that no gain. Brings up 2nd and 10.
big break for Alcoa, who had just reclaimed the lead 17-14 and able to keep Epperly off the field. And that's one of the big keys for them, is trying to get some pressure on Epperly. They hadn't done it. So if you can't pressure him, keep him over on the sidelines, it's impossible for him to score from there.
Second down and 10 for Alcoa. Talent, right side to the 25. Isom to the 20. 15, dances his way toward the 10 before where he's ran out of bounds. And that's going to move the chains for a Johnson and Blair first down.
Yeah, just taking what they can get, and what they're giving. Warriors just not wanting to let Isom get over top and get that 50-50 ball put up into the air, and giving him a lot of cushion. And the coaching staff seeing that and saying, we'll take what you give us.
17-yard pickup on the pitch and catch from Talent to Isom brings up 1st and 10 from the 13. Warren. And he's going to fight for maybe a yard. We'll wait for the spot as CAK defends nicely on that play.
Yeah, CAK is very well coached. You can see that. And just in case you're looking at the bottom of the screen, any confusion you may see from time to time, that score and your clock, those smaller numbers now, that's timeouts left. You see the score for Alcoa 17. They have burned a timeout early to avoid getting the penalty. The 3 timeouts corresponding with the Warriors. That's not coming into play now. Lots of time left with 6:25 to go, and Alcoa up by 3.
2nd and 8 from the 11. 6:15 to go, first half. Talent. He's going to run it himself. Inching down toward the end zone. Ball on the ground, I believe, and I believe Talent, they're going to reel him down before that ball popped loose.
Well, that's the break the Warriors needed. Very close. He's inside the 3-yard line. Should be very close to a 1st and goal. Not what the Warriors wanted to yield there. So close to their own end zone.
They'll wait for the spot. Looks like it's going to be about the 3-yard line.
And they do indeed motion without calling for a measurement. So it was well inside the 3-yard line.
Probably closer to the 2, so a gain of 9. And a Johnson and Blair first down. 1st and 2 from the 2. The handoff. Touchdown, Alcoa.
I don't know what you do there.
Darrell Warren from 2 yards out.
They bring in that big running guard, Caleb Mangum. And, you're talking about a beefy man, as if they didn't already have enough beef back there with Tyson and Warren. But I don't know what you do with that. If you don't have a skid steer to roll over in front of where they're going, I don't know what you do there. I really don't.
Castro, the PAT attempt for Alcoa. And they're going to fake it. Run it for 2, and this one's going to be no good.
Yeah, that was not fake. That's a ball that hit the...
That was yelling fire.
Yeah, that was the young man who simply missed the block when he tried to put it down. And that keeps it. It's a 2-score ball game. 2 scores can get you back in front if you're CAK. And the way they throw the football, a lot of time left here in this first half.
So the conversion no good. That makes the score 23-14, Alcoa over CAK. Coming up at the half, we'll recap these first 2 quarters of play, give you some halftime statistics. We'll talk to one, if not both, of our coaches heading off the field, so stay tuned for the halftime festivities here on Friday Night Gridiron.
And thus far, the advantage to the Tornadoes has been in the kicking game. Never what you expect to say here at Alcoa. But we've seen Isom have the game of games, 6 weeks ago.
Right.
But gosh, from place kicking, and it not even field goals we're talking about.
Castro, the Blevins Paint Center kickoff, and that's going to be fielded fair, caught at the 27-yard line.
Another sophomore out there fielding the kick. That was the young man that had a little difficulty earlier. But you want to talk about a sophomore-laden group from the Warriors. My goodness, the future certainly would look bright for them, one would think.
1st and 10 for Epperly and the Warriors from the 27. Trailing 23-14. CAK ball boy bringing in one of theirs. And Epperly will put it in play. 5:44 to go, first half. Epperly going to be flushed, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard to the 28 as Alcoa made him dance and then took him down.
Yeah, and one of those down linemen in that 3 technique just simply did not come off the ball. I don't know if that was by design or whether he was stalemated, but it eliminates the ability for Epperly to step through and find creases in which he can run because he's got an extra defender that's not blowing by him as it was in the first series.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 from the 28. A little delay give and nothing there. Let's check in again with Roddy Woods.
Hey, Norman. Checking in with about Tyson to see if he was really injured. Talked to the trainers on the Alcoa side. Little stinger in his hand, but everything is good because you saw him make that block down there on the goal line. Doesn't look like he's injured at all. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Roddy. 3rd and 8 upcoming from the 29 following a 1-yard carry that time as Epperly was flushed out of the pocket. 4:25 to go first half. Epperly taking his time, directing the offense.
Yeah, too much time, I'd
yep.
say.
Flags on the play.
So the flag on the delay of game will back
Delay of game against
CAK up. Go ahead.
A little shocked they had 3 timeouts, and it appeared to be a good time to use one there. You're going to have a clock stoppage anyway with a flag, and 5 more yards. Well, it's, yardage has been tough to come by.
From the 24, check that 22, brings up 3rd and 14. Obviously, CAK needing to go to the air right here. Looked like some early movement out here on this right side, but no flag. Pass incomplete. Intended out here for number 16, Howell, and there's Vanderbilt Hambrick, number 29, to bring it up. And that'll break it up, that'll force a punting situation for the Warriors.
The Warriors would be well advised right now to have that young man mark off in his mind about 30 yards down the field and pick out him one of them cute cheerleaders and kick it to her. I'd make one of them cheerleaders field one on the run here. I would not kick it back there to Hambrick or to, well, Talent is often as not back there, and I look back and notice that's in fact Talent deep for the Tornadoes, but I wouldn't give him a chance either.
Here's the punt. It's going to be muffed, and CAK gets a break, Chuck.
Well, and I have said it for the last 2 years here. I've said it for 15 years on the radio. I don't kick the football down the middle of the field unless there's a chance for the other team to fumble it back to you. At that particular point, I still expected them to kick it out of bounds because it's so early in the game. Somebody run into him, and that can happen. That can happen. Talent not to be faulted there. That's just one of those things. But it come at a good time for the Warriors.
So CAK gets it back, actually keeps it. They never lost possession. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 40. Epperly with twins, top of the screen, single set on the right.
Watch for him to go back down the middle. He had success there earlier.
He's going to go deep. And this one's going to be incomplete. He can throw it a mile.
Incomplete.
Incomplete, intended for number 6 or 8. I believe it was Carson Pegram out of the backfield. Sorry, wrong on both counts. Spotter says Murchison, number 5, the sophomore, the intended receiver.
Have confidence in a sophomore to throw up a 50-50 ball. That ball had way too much air under it. But still, the confidence they must have in that core of receivers. Again, may not even be old enough to drive among the lot of them. And if they have been, it's been since the 4th of July, most likely.
Epperly changing the play. Clock stopped at 7:32 until intermission. Quick pass out here, right side, incomplete. Caught for just a moment by Smith, the tight end, and then dropped.
Trying to do a little something extra.
For Smith, it's 3rd down 10.
Epperly in the quarter, 2 for 4 on the game, 7 for 14 for an even 100 yards passing.
Well, that's 4-quarter performance over here at Goddard Field for most everyone. We see why this kid has led this team to 9 unchallenged Fridays.
3rd and 10 from the 40. Clock winding down here, first half. And CAK desperately wanting to keep this drive alive and put up some more points on the board. Epperly, he's going to be flushed out. Runs it to the 50, into Alcoa territory to the 40, 35, and he's going to go out of bounds around the 30. Obviously long enough for the Johnson and Blair 1st and 10. We'll check the mark and give you the yardage in just a moment. Big run, Quinn Epperly, your quarterback. Let's look at it again.
What you want to look at is for starting now. There's Hambrick. Anybody else surprised? Epperly can pick him up and put him down, son.
27-yard gain for the quarterback. Johnson and Blair 1st and 10 from the 33. Epperly handoff. Right up the middle inside the 30 to about the 28 goes the ball carrier. Approaching the 3-minute mark, 2nd quarter.
And they had not tried that in quite some time. And you absolutely have to be able to run the ball a little. And right there, they had success north and south.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 from the 28. Epperly goes across the middle, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by number 39 for Alcoa, Jordan Patrick, the senior linebacker.
And just enough pressure
3rd down 6.
to force Epperly to try to do something out of rhythm there. Very fortunate to have the ball back. Very fortunate indeed. And they are in 4-down territory. You've been the benefit of a muffed punt that's kept this drive alive, and you trail by 2 scores. They're in 4-down territory. They just about have to be.
2:37 to go on a 3rd and 5. Here's Epperly firing across the middle. Pass complete at the 20. They needed 5. They got that and more, and another Johnson and Blair 1st down.
The more you watch these kids, the more you realize what they accomplish, and you have to wonder if our roster is accurate. Can those skill position players under pressure be 10th graders? I guess they can.
1st and 10 from the 19. Pass complete. Epperly inside the 10 that time. Has some more positive yardage as number 8 for the Warriors, Carson Pegram, out of the backfield.
It'll be 1st and goal.
Yep, another Johnson and Blair 1st down.
You saw them try that play earlier to no avail. But as the game is worn on, their coaching staff knows what these kids are capable of, and they continue to make the right calls.
11-yard pass and catch for CAK brings up 1st and goal from the 8. Epperly pass, corner of the end zone, incomplete. covered nicely. Talent that time defensively for Alcoa breaks it up, brings up 2nd and 8.
Oh, Epperly'd like to have that one back. He'd love to have that one back. Tried to throw it before he had a grasp of it. Had to be a quick throw. Wanted to get it up and get a 50-50 ball with the defender's back to the quarterback, and he had it. But he got no snap and no velocity on the pigskin. And so Talent had time to turn around and find the ball.
1:45 to go, 2nd and 8. 2nd and goal from the 8, rather. And Quinn looks to change the play. You better hurry. Same play, goes back to that corner of the end zone, incomplete, intended for Pregame.
That's incomplete. 3rd down goal.
And the way they're playing out there on that outside, would you be surprised at all to see them throw there again?
Nope.
But throw it to the front pylon. Let that receiver try to take him deep, put the brakes on, and get himself scrambled back to that pylon and just see what happens.
Pregame coming into the game, 74% passing accuracy. He's 4 for 11 in this quarter.
Yeah, he's going to look left here. He's left-handed, wide side of the field is left. They're going to set it up and kick it. They changed their mind. They're not coming away empty-handed, and this cuts it to 1 score. And let us not forget that they will get the pigskin to open the 3rd frame of play after the break.
Well, a gain of 1 makes it 4th down from the 7.
Now, there's no decision here. You kick the pigskin. If you've got a kid over there that's ever seen a soccer ball, you line him up, you take your 3, you go into the intermission, you get the pigskin back for the 3rd frame of play, and you've scored 17 points. Friends, the last team to score 2 touchdowns on the Tornadoes was Maryville in week 1, the 2nd game for Alcoa. But it's been since week 1 since anybody's tallied more than 7 on these Tornadoes. You kick the football right here.
Well, 53 seconds to go, and CAK wants a timeout to talk about it. And we'll hold it right here. Alcoa leading 23-14. Coming up at the half, we'll recap the first 2 periods, statistics, interviews with coaches, all that and more, so stay with us. This reminder for those of you looking forward to the playoffs this Friday, remember that all playoff games start at 7 o'clock. And if you are a season ticket holder, if your favorite school, home school, if you have a season ticket, those are not honored by the TSSAA. It's all general admission seating. So if you have a reserved seat for regular season games, well, that's good for you, but it's not going to apply in postseason. And again, kick off all playoff games at 7.
Now, my question would be, if you've got a season ticket, do you get preferential to buy that same seat?
Most schools will sell them, yes, the week of, so you can do that.
Call your school.
4th and 7.
Can't believe it.
Quinn.
They moved.
Whoop.
I just can't believe it. I really can't. That's 2 in a row I've blown big time. I didn't think Rankin made the right decision earlier the other way.
Well, some movement as Quinn Epperly looking to go for it with his Warriors on 4th and goal from the 7. And that play will back him up. Only the 2nd penalty for CAK, only the 3rd in the game.
They've been close to being legal procedure several times.
Alcoa calls a timeout right now. Let's take a quick one with them. 23-14, under a minute to go, first half.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a newer used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
51 seconds to go, a 4th and 12 play coming up for CAK. They had it 4th and 7, then a penalty against the Warriors moved it back to the 12. So will they go for it here, Chuck, or will they kick the field goal?
No.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm over here. And here we go.
Epperly out of the gun. He's going to fake left. He's going to be sacked by the Tornadoes. Alcoa, big defensive play on a 4th down as CAK in tight at the Alcoa 13 goes for it, and they pay the price. And that's going to be big Darrell Warren coming in and getting a sack, and that's his 7th of the season.
Well, their kicker, I believe, a sophomore. Perhaps that weighed in the decision. Actually, it says freshman. Maybe that's the decision.
A loss of 8 on the play. Here's Tyson with big yardage here late in the first half for the Tornadoes.
If you take 3 points and you get the pigskin back, you have an Alcoa team that has been really not tested. No one has been able to test them. And you've got them reeling and the ball back. You got to think there's something else that made that decision for Coach Bradley. Look here.
Here's an interception, ball tipped, following the 11-yard carry for Tyson, and in talent on a tipped ball throws it away with 25 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, Bryson Linus. Tips it, catches it, both arms on the ball, giving his team a shot.
And CAK will have it at the Alcoa 28-yard line, 25 seconds to go. Epperly. He's going to pass right side of the end zone, incomplete.
Incomplete, broken up by Tyson.
It's a good play.
Yep.
Second down.
It's actually a really good play. It's a much better throw than when he tried earlier to throw it to Murchison when he had way too much air under it. Now the mismatch comes that Ison probably has a wingspan. I bet he could wash both sides of a panel van. Standing flat-footed. Covers a lot of area.
19 seconds to go, 2nd and 10 from the 28. Epperly has some time. Now he doesn't. He goes down again for a sack. Number 5, Jonivan Henry, the senior, with the honors.
Yeah, and they're going to put about 4 or 5 seconds back on the clock, I would think. It'll give them a chance to have 2 shots at the end zone. And you know that the Tornadoes are going to be looking for things like a hook and lateral or something of that nature potentially. He has thrown the ball up the seams in those little curl routes several times. It would be a good time and a good distance away to see a play of that nature. And I still have to say they've got to go to the end zone, and I'm guessing that the fact that kicker's a freshman is what made that decision earlier and probably takes that decision off the table here.
11 seconds to go when play resumes. 3rd and 19 from the 37.
You know they're not in kicking range now. But from what we have seen at this level of football over the last 2 years together, is that a completion of 10 to 12 yards would give a lot of schools a shot. You have to think that must not be the case for them, the Warriors.
So on the 3rd and 19 play, Twins right, single receiver set left to the top of your screen. And Epperly drops straight back. He'll heave it into the end zone. 37 yards deep, incomplete. Intended for Pegram.
Boy, he did come clean late.
It's 4th down.
4th down.
Another one of those sophomores out there. And they're going to have another shot at it. And this is the last play. There is not a chance for them to throw something intermediate and get out of bounds and then take a shot at the end zone. Barring a penalty, this is it.
So 4th and 19, 4.9 seconds to go in the half, and here's the last play in the first half as Epperly drops back, looks, deep, pass to the end zone, tipped, touchdown, CAK! Franklin Murchison on the tip ball, and CAK puts it in as time expires.
Well, my friend, that is not what they drew up in their pregame preparation this week. But every now and then you need a break. And they got a break in the fact that Warren didn't pull his arm off before he threw it, let alone the catch.
PAT is up and good. Let's take a look at that play one more time. Okay, let's check in with Roddy and we'll take a look at that touchdown pass one more time.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined now by head coach Rusty Bradley. Coach, right there, you didn't go for it right there, but did that make up for it?
No question. We got to try to score points every time we get a chance. Field goals aren't going to beat these guys. We got to try to get touchdowns. So I'm proud of our guys for competing.
Now you get the ball coming out of the third quarter.
Yes, no question. We're going to try to score again because they're a threat to score every time they've got the ball. We've got to try to match their output.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, you know, the coach told us flat out that that was the case, but I swear, I know field goals won't beat this squad, but you were getting the ball back. That's the part I just don't understand, and that's why he earns his bread and butter coaching these kids, and I'm over here running my mouth.
So at the intermission, 23-21, CAK closes the gap to 2. And folks, we've got ourselves a barn burner of a ball game here at Goddard Field. And
well, we've waited all year for one, so we got it now.
We have. We've had some lopsided games this year on Friday Night Gridiron, but tonight has been as advertised, at least for the first 2 periods, and Alcoa clinging to a 2-point lead. Right now, a break. When we come back, the halftime program here on Friday Night Gridiron. Stay tuned. We're back in a moment.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, parents would drive to the end of the earth to find help. But the only road they need to travel is here, to East Tennessee Children's Hospital.
We have the expertise and resources to treat everything a young cancer patient is dealing with.
Children's Hospital is a member of the Children's Oncology Group, a nationwide network of hospitals that ensures children with cancer receive the same high-quality care, no matter where they live.
Our membership in the Children's Oncology Group allows us at Children's Hospital to use the same protocols for treating childhood cancer that are used at leading centers around the Southeast and throughout the country.
It's the best care available from diagnosis to treatment without leaving East Tennessee.
We traveled from La Follette to receive care when Jake had cancer, and now he's been cancer-free for 4 years.
It's the treatment we would provide for our own children.
Cancer care has changed dramatically over the years, and Children's Hospital has changed with the times. That's another way they are leading the way to healthy children.
Throw your hands up, clench your fists with pride. Hold your head high, no need to hide. EVOLVE, come on, get inside, come on, ride with me. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. Gotta evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve.
At Lowe's Pharmacy, we believe that your health care is extremely important. That's why our staff is always on hand to answer any questions you may have. Our friendly staff and unique way of treating you like family is why we've been your neighborhood pharmacy since 1954. We are a full-service pharmacy and medical equipment dealer serving Blount and surrounding counties. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 1 to 6, Lowe's is always here for you. You'll like Lowe's. It's convenient.
Passion, commitment, dedication, fairness, striving for excellence. These are the qualities of our local high school football players and programs, a pride that is ingrained into our efforts in our community. At Furniture Factory Outlet, we share these qualities in our service to you, and with our commitment to Friday Night Gridiron, we support our local community and all its players. After all, we're all part of the same team. Furniture Factory Outlet, a division of Fowler's Furniture.
Well, welcome back. 23-21, Alcoa clinging to a 2-point lead. An exciting first half, folks, here at Goddard Field as Alcoa and CAK battling for this district championship tonight. Chuck, and your quick thoughts on these first 2 quarters of play.
Can't believe that CAK continued to kick the football to Vanderbilt Hambrick. Been shocked that the Tornadoes have not simply lined up with those 2 big running backs and come very hard at that Warrior defense, and I've been shocked at the time that Epperly has been allowed to stand back there and find his targets. That kid can throw the football.
Well, Alcoa got on the board first, 5:04 to go in the first period. Roberto Castro, a 21-yard field goal, put Alcoa up 3-0. With 56 seconds to go first quarter, CAK comes back as Epperly hits Davis Howe for a 3-yard strike. PAT was good, and CAK went up 7-3, but 42 seconds left. Vanderbilt Hambrick runs back the ensuing Blevins Paint Center kickoff, 95 yards to put Alcoa up 10-7. Second quarter scoring, 11:17 to go. Josh Smith, a 25-yard catch from Epperly, 14-10, and CAK took their second lead, and then with 7:53 to go, 36-yard run by Vanderbilt Hambrick. Alcoa goes back up 17-14. 5:45 to go. Darrell Warren, a 2-yard run. They failed on the PAT. It was 23-14, and then as time expired, Epperly, a Hail Mary, 37 yards to Franklin Murchison, and that cut the lead to 2, and that's where we stand, 23-21. You see the halftime statistics there on screen. Chuck, your take on those numbers, fairly even in some spots, but what do you read from those?
Well, it's very difficult to say. The first thing I would say is it's you need 50% more rushes from Alcoa. But keep in mind they had one of their possessions they didn't need because Hambrick ran it back. So, really it's as even as the score. They each have their areas of specialty that we all suspected. The turnovers are quite a shock at this point. And really, it's been a very cleanly played football game at this point with very few penalties. These are the 2 best teams that we've seen in this division, certainly in a long time. We've seen Maryville a time or 2, but these 2 right here would stack up with most anybody in East Tennessee. Each of them has a different style of how they want to get it done.
So about 3 minutes to go until the second half kicks off. When play resumes in the third quarter, following that CAK touchdown, they're going to get the ball back. So the momentum staying with the Warriors. And if you are Coach Beasley of CAK, what are you telling your team at halftime?
Well, I'm telling them that, fellas, we've made a couple of mistakes, and yet we're in the football game. That you need to count your blessings of how that one wound up at the end of the first half, and that we can continue to keep these kids off our quarterback. We can be successful. A lot of times the Tornadoes seem to be rushing 3 men and dropping everybody else. It's just not enough pressure. There were other times when they had 4 linemen coming after the quarterback, but I sincerely believe they had at least one of those men lagging back and kind of mirroring the quarterback to nullify those runs he was able to get in those first series of downs. I think they're going to come after him a little more. I think they've got to. And if they don't, you know what? There's a whole lot of teams out there across the state have been looking for a chink in the Tornado armor, and they may all smile and think they found something.
I said head coach Rusty Beasley. It's actually, or Robert Beasley. I got both names wrong. It's Rusty Bradley. Let's check in with Roddy Woods right now.
Thanks, Norman. Had a chance to catch up with Coach Rankin coming out of the locker room right there. Didn't have a lot to say. I asked him, did he make any adjustments? He said, I made a lot of adjustments. He said, I asked him, what will he do here if they get the ball, CAK gets the ball the first, third quarter. He said, we're in for a fight of our lives right now. We got to come out, make no mistakes, and play Alcoa football. Back to you guys.
Well, and I can imagine those comments coming from Coach Rankin, and I can just picture the fire in his eyes, as I'm sure that halftime speech was very electrifying, to say the least. 23-21, Alcoa clinging to the 2-point lead. Again, both teams 9-0 on the season, 4-0 in district play. This is obviously for the district championship, helps proceeding in the playoffs, and someone in 2 quarters will walk away with their first loss of the season. Stands are packed, lots of folks coming out to witness this one tonight. Glad you're joining us on Charter Main Street, Channel 16. So both teams getting some final instructions, or at least CAK is. Alcoa already broke huddle, and they'll be assuming their positions on this kickoff here in just a moment. Tonight's kickoff's brought to you by Blevins Paint Center. Thinking of painting, remodeling, or renovating? Visit Blevins Paint Center for the highest quality Glidden and Devo paints with the capability of custom color matching. Come see why everyone else keeps coming back. Blevins Paint Centers and Glidden Paints, helping you paint your world and making dreams come true. So the customary meeting there at midfield to start this third quarter, and we're just a few moments away. Epperly sporting the Mohawk. Seen a lot of those. Seen a lot of those this year.
Well, there's one thing you can say about a group that gets a Mohawk like that. I mean, it says a lot. Primarily what it says is that a Mohawk looks equally bad on everybody. It's hard to pull that off. It looks ugly. It ain't ugly, friend. It's ugly.
Now, would you say this? Does that apply to your son? Because he had one for a while. I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's because you just like him as a kid. It looked ugly on him too. It's ugly.
Dropping back deep for CAK, Zach Mead, number 27, a senior in Castro, Roberto Castro, will kick it away for Alcoa.
And it's been an adventure for the Warriors trying to handle these kicks. And they have actually made some adjustments. They now have those sophomore wideouts back there at the, you'd call those end positions. More of a hands team out there to help handle the football on these kicks.
Castro with the kick. It's going to be fielded at the 2. Up to the 20. And a couple of yards past that, so CAK will put it in play from, we'll call it the 23.
Mead on the return, brought down to 23. Works for
As Mead brings it back, we'll credit him with a 21-yard return.
And if you see Coach Bradley there running the show, you want to talk about a disciplined group of players and how they set to the line of scrimmage. They have something to be proud of.
Epperly, your quarterback. Over 2,300 yards on the season from his arm. And he's proved why he's heralded here in this first half. This first pass, though, incomplete to start the third quarter.
Yeah, one play from scrimmage and one quarterback on his keister. And I'll guarantee you that's what they talked about at halftime. You talk about made a lot of adjustments. I don't think that's true. I think Rankin tried to make one attitude adjustment and apply it liberally and equally across about 75 different kids is what he tried to do there. And really, they haven't played poorly. They've just been matched.
2nd and 10 from the 23. And either a mosquito is after Epperly or he's changing it up. He's changing it up, barking out the plays. He's going to have some time. Pass out right side, complete. Past the 40 to Pedram. Number 25. I'm sorry, check that. Josh Smith, number 25. The sophomore tight end. And they'll move it up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, had time to have a complete pump fake and a double move. I would have, if you told me that 2 hours ago, I would have thought that you had some kind of problem. I just cannot believe they're not getting more pressure on Epperly. This line, what a job they're doing.
21-yard pass play, good for a Johnson and Blair. 1st and 10 from the 42. Epperly sizing it up out of the gun. Here's Warren on the left side, gets a paw on him, and Epperly's going to go down. Darrell Warren leading the charge, number 1. And Warren initiates the contact, and it'll bring up 2nd down on the loss. Actually, they'll say at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10.
And those are the kind of moves out there on the outside that I expect. I expect to see them trying to pull wide and maybe slide linebackers into those gaps, coming straight up at Epperly. Haven't seen that yet, but I still expect it.
Actually, a 5-yard loss back to the 37. So 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, Warren on the inside, takes him down for a sack.
Yeah, and if you'll run that back, fellows, you're going to see that he did come up inside. And I think that the primary reason that he was able to do that is he's on his left side, and it's a left-handed quarterback. I think the expectation is that the quarterback was going to roll to his left, which would have allowed Warren that inside pursuit path without yielding the outside to the left-hander coming back to the right.
A 12-yard loss back to the 25 brings up 3rd and long. .27 to be exact, as Epperly looks long. Pass incomplete, almost reeled in at the peak A, center of the field. And it'll be a punting situation for CAK. Intended receiver, number 27, Zach Meade.
That was an outstanding throw and an outstanding play. Alcoa running some line stunts, crossing it up, coming after him. Didn't get to him. And Epperly very nearly pulled it out of the half.
Brian Newman, your punter, but whistle stops play. And a timeout asked for.
Timeout, Alcoa.
Alcoa calls the break. We'll take one with him. 10:03 to go, 3rd. Alcoa 23, CAK 21.
Are you in pain? Are you having trouble locating a physician who understands? Foothills Pain Management in Maryville is now accepting new patients. All Blue Care, Americhoice, Medicare, and all other major insurance patients receive no wait scheduling. Call 865-980-7802. That's 980-7802 for your immediate evaluation today.
So Alcoa calls the timeout. When play resumes, CAK will punt it away. Brian Newman to punt it for the Warriors. Check that, not Newman. It's number 25, Josh Smith. Isom, number 4, back deep for the Tornadoes. And Newman kicks it away from Isom wisely. It takes a hop at about the 45, and it'll stop around the 41-yard line with 9:51 to go, 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 from the Alcoa 41.
And Norman, I've only missed everything I've said, so let's go ahead and continue that. I still think they've got to line up and come straight at them. Just move them out of the way.
Talent, the quarterback. Here's the give. It's Warren. Darrell Warren up past midfield into CAK territory. Johnson and Blair first down on the pickup. We'll check the yardage and give it to you in a moment.
1st and 10, Tornadoes.
Moves it to the CAK 47-yard line. So a pickup of 12 yards for Warren.
Until they stop that, I'm running that.
Near side receiver is Warfield, number 81. That's Isom, top of the screen. This a pitch back to Warren. Warren deeper into CAK territory, just a load there to haul down, and he's inside the 40.
Yeah, if I change that, it's by going back to that big set they run around the goal line with that big 73, pulling him back in out of guard and playing him at running guard. And I just absolutely keep punching them in the mouth until they figured out a way to stop it, or I fumbled and fell over one.
They're going to spot it on the 38, so that's a pickup of 9, 2nd and 1.
About 2 more of those. Talent will pull it out, step out here in the flat, try to find one of these boys. Until then, you keep punching them right square in the nose.
Well, Warren did it again, third carry in a row. And he picks up another Johnson and Blair 1st and 10.
Yeah, if they don't slow it down, you may not even try the play action. But in a moment, you just simply pull it away, let Talent roll out here and find one of those guys man to man. Warriors are going to have to start creeping more and more into the box. You're going to get somebody isolated man to man out here. That's when you can make Talent look very slick out in space.
Gain of 4, 1st and 10 from the 34, Alcoa. This game note, number 81 for Alcoa, Lawan Warfield. He's the nephew of NFL Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. Played for the Browns and then the Dolphins, and then came back to the Browns to finish out his career. Few yards on the ground this time for Alcoa as CAK defends nicely on that one.
Tyson carries.
It's Tyson on the carry for Alcoa. Ball was on the 34, I believe.
Gain of 1, 2nd.
And they'll call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
If you see any different formation, I believe you're going to see that single wing formation that comes in motion. But I just, again, that's not what I would do. I just keep punching them. Make them stop you.
5th play of the drive for the Tornadoes in the eye. And Talent's going to keep it himself. Inside the 30. And that just a straight-up quarterback keeper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's single wing football, but with him taking a snap under the center, there's nothing wrong with that. That gives you 2 230-pound running guard blocking lumberjack-looking guys, you know, with a pretty good heady runner back there in Talent. You don't call that often. Normally, you don't like to see a quarterback diving out through there leading with his pads, but Talent is some kind of kamikaze anyway, as we've seen. Here's that running guard formation.
Talent with a gain of 5, 3rd and 4 from the 28. Pitch back to Warren. Warren sheds a blocker, runs over a CAK Warrior, and picks up a Johnson and Blair 1st and 10.
Yeah, and then this is where you come back over and you line up, you run that again, and then you come over here and then you line up, you run it again. That running guard formation, if they can't stop it and they can't match up with it, nothing cheesy about it, just keep punching them. That's what you've got the advantage at. Use it.
11 yards to the 17, 1st down Alcoa. 7:05 to go, third quarter. Here's Warren. He's the workhorse on this drive, and he's moving it down near the 2.
Yep, there you go. And about 2 more of them, and they can go back and kick it. And I believe you're seeing those adjustments he made. Again, one attitude adjustment applied over 75 players equals this punch in the mouth. And if he changes right here, I'll be shocked.
Going to be first and goal from the 3 following the 14-yard pickup by Warren. You've probably noticed our graphics on screen there, lower right-hand corner, a touch different than what you saw earlier in the game. A little technical difficulty, so we've put a camera on the scoreboard. And our apologies for that, but I believe it's legible. Alcoa on the ground and still a couple to go.
Tyson carries.
Yeah,
Tyson on the carry down to the 2, gain of 1.
Trying to make them think they're going out wide. They put that big running guard. What's his? Is it Caleb Mangum? And they run him out there kind of in a wing back position, trying to give the illusion they're going to toss it out there, but then sneak back underneath. Now you'll see something more traditional. They'll hand it off and knock everybody down.
Here's the handoff. Hambrick, and he goes down. Good defense that time on a second and goal from the 2 by CAK.
Now his foot come out from under him, and that's happened to him a time or two, and he's a little gimpy getting up there. A little bit surprised you didn't see the 2 big men in there together and just let them go.
Loss of 1 back to the 3, third down.
Now that might change what you do here because you feel it's a lost down and you lost it to footing, not to play calling.
Full house backfield. Check that, Warren, the tailback. He's going to get it. He's going to score. An Alcoa touchdown, Darrell Warren.
Yeah, they cannot stop it. You're talking about a football team that is as well coached as any we've seen in the Warriors. You're talking about skilled position players that play to the very utmost of their ability. They're coached up. But you're talking about men who are physically unable to match up with that type of power running. And how many teams like Alcoa can line up and power run? They've not been able to do that except for the last few years. Last couple in particular.
Castro to attempt the PAT.
No, sir.
I'm sorry, check that. I glanced down for a second. They're going to go for 2. Here's the snap, and the PAT will fail. So, 5:19 to go, third quarter. Alcoa extends the lead by 8, 29-21 over CAK.
Witt's Barbecue, slow cooked the old-fashioned way. Whether you're hungry for barbecue pork, turkey, wings, or ribs, Witt's has the best around. Only fresh, tender, and delicious meat is served at Witt's, and we take pride in hand-pulling every piece. Come in for lunch or stop by our drive-thru, mention this ad, and receive a pork plate with 2 sides and a drink for only $5.99. Witt's Barbecue also caters any size event. Witt's Barbecue, give us a try. We aren't fancy, just plain good.
So Darrell Warren, a 3-yard dive. PAT failed, and Alcoa leads 29-21.
I don't think there's any surprise in the offensive theory for the Tornadoes. I'm just shocked we hadn't seen it in the first 2 quarters. So again, no shock whatsoever. The question is now, it's balls in your court, Warriors. Your turn for the counter punch, and we'll see what you've got.
Castro will initiate the Blevins Paint Center kickoff. High short kick going to be fielded, or rather take a bounce at the 30 and go out of bounds. So a penalty.
It goes out of bounds.
And CAK will have it 5:19 to go, third quarter.
You get to see whether or not Darrell Warren can apply the pressure. And as you see right now, they have Jonivan Henry in replacing Warren, who probably just needs a break.
First and 10 from the 35 for the Warriors. 2 receivers right, 1 left for Epperly. He's going to throw across the middle. Incomplete. Incomplete. Intended for Smith, number 25, and he wanted a flag. Felt like he drew some contact before the ball got there, but none on the field, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Second and 10 for CAK. Pass across the middle, and that's complete at the 45, but smothered over that time. Good defense by Alcoa after the catch by number 16, Davis Howell.
Just throwing those crossing routes to those young receivers. Knew exactly what yard line to get, got to cross it, and then cross the field, make the catch, move the chains. As well coached a group of kids. Watch those undersized offensive linemen who've been able to keep the Tornadoes at bay. Again, very well coached and poised group of young men.
Johnson and Blair first down following the 10-yard pass play to the 35. Epperly, left side pass complete into Alcoa territory goes Josh Smith, the tight end. They're going to mark it on the 47-yard line.
It'll be 2nd down short.
So a gain of about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. Epperly with some time. Pass is incomplete. Intended near the 30-yard line that time is Talent defending nicely against Franklin Murchison.
Epperly that time trying to move to his right, wide side of the field, and the left-hander just not quite able to get the shoulders rotated and get a little zip on that ball. May have floated a little on him, and you don't see that much. As accurate as any kid will be around this part.
3rd and 2 from the 47. Fakes the handoff. Epperly out left side and catching it, and then getting some punishment by Alcoa. Josh Henson, number 22 for CAK, moves it down to the 45 for a gain of 2. It's going to be close to the first down. They needed to, depending on the spot, but I think he got it. It looks like they're going to measure.
Yeah, you see Henson a little gimpy as he come back. I don't think he was the recipient of most of that tackle. I believe the 2 Alcoa men wound up taking it out on one another, and that kid may have hurt himself getting down out of the way of it.
Well, if he made it, he got 2. If he's short, we'll give him 1. Talent there, you see, saying it's just a few inches. So we'll give him officially 1 to the 44. It'll bring up 4th down and less than a yard.
Well, this is a big play indeed. You're looking at a group that needs 2 links of the chain. And, you know, the running game is not their forte. It did look like they brought in some extra beef there on that front line. May go unbalanced. Try to get that speedy front for the Tornadoes, moving sideways potentially. It's 2 wideouts, not 3.
Big, big play, and in this game they're all big, but this one just a tad bigger on 4th down, and as Chuck said, a couple of links to go. Epperly's going to sneak it. He's got the 1st down.
They simply brought in that extra big man there, 75, to play tight end. So you can't call it unbalanced, but they had a little extra size in there.
To the 43, a Johnson and Blair first down. CAK with 43 yards to go to pay dirt. Trailing by 8, 3:15 to go, third quarter. There's Warren in the backfield again, and Epperly running for his life. May have picked up one, maybe two, before he's taken down by number 60 for Alcoa, and that's Stanley Johnson, the senior.
Well, they've taken away his running lanes. When Epperly is able to step up and elude the outside pressure, as he did in drive number 1 tonight, he's simply not found the additional lanes to run.
Epperly with one brings up 2nd and 9. He's going to go deep. Pass into the end zone. Touchdown, CAK! On a 2nd and 9. And Epperly goes deep to cut the lead to 2.
Yeah, and they're going to jump in here. You're within a field goal at this point. You're going to go for 2, and you're going to make an effort at it.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. They're going for 2 here. You're down by 2. 1 point helps you none. So you lose nothing here. You have to go for it.
So here's the 2-point conversion attempt. Epperly going to dodge the defender. He's got the angle. Oh, and he stopped short. He stopped short. Stephen Isom, I believe, the young man on the play to deliver the blow.
Yeah, that ain't the half of it. The question is, what's wrong with Epperly? Did he get hit in the shin? Did he take a helmet to the knee? These are the questions that are important. It has nothing to do with those 2 points, I assure you.
So 2:15 to go, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails. And Alcoa will get it back up by 2, and Epperly coming off on his own power. And let's check in with Roddy Woods.
Hey guys, quick update. Went over on the Alcoa sideline. Warren and Hambrick both are having problems with cramps right now. That's why they're neither one are in the game. Back to you guys.
Well, that's unusual to have trouble with cramps this time of year. Warren, you may think that he's just, the muscularity would become an issue. But for Hambrick, not as much so. And it's a 50-degree temperature in basically what's November. Yeah, it's October. What's the difference? You should not have a dehydration issue. That a little out of character for this time of year. It certainly bears watching because it was Warren that did the bulk of the damage behind Tyson on that last possession. And as you can see, this bunch here is not going away. They've scored 27 points. Maryville scored just 31 on this bunch. Nobody else has managed more than 1 touchdown.
Here's the Blevins Paint Center kickoff. It's going to take a roll and be fielded about the 14 by Alcoa, and nothing there. CAK defending well on the kickoff, and Alcoa backed up deep in their own end zone. Or I'm sorry, in their own territory. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 15.
And you do see Warren back in there. He was getting spelled on defense there moments ago.
So Talent brings him to the line, up by 2, 2:09 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, same formation, same play. Tyson spreading those linebackers out, stepping through on the blocks, and then just out wrestling everyone forward. That is still the formation that I expect to see him pull that ball out of the belly of Tyson and have him roll out on play action. They can get that a lot, but when they begin to load up to stop it, that's when you might see Talent pull it out and go along with it.
20, what was that? 20 yards even, 20 yards to the 35. Johnson and Blair first down.
And he got 7 of those with people hanging on.
Exactly. Coach Bradley said in the pregame, it's got to be team tackling. One man's not going to bring him down a lot of times. And here's Tyson on the run again, a few more this time on first down.
Those runs where Tyson continues to fight for additional yardage, that's the opportunity for the Warriors to reach in and wrestle the pig away from him. I realize no one else has had much success doing so, but that's still your best opportunity.
.68 seconds to go, third quarter, 2nd and 7 for Alcoa following the 2-yard carry by Tyson. Here is Warren with it, and he moves it up past the 45 into CAK territory. Has his eyes on the end zone. He's going to make it. Touchdown, Darrell Warren, and he's out of gas, Chuck. Darrell Warren fatigued, but he's the workhorse. And he takes it 62 yards for the Alcoa score.
Well, again, you hammer, you hammer, you hammer, and eventually they're just going to miss a tackle. They're getting equally tired. And Warren has got 25 pounds on the nearest defender once you get past those 2 down linemen up front for the defense.
Castro with the PAT. Kick is up and it's good. Let's take a look at that Darrell Warren touchdown run of 62 yards once again.
And you're going to see the missed tackle right here. The tackle is made and missed twice, and that is fatigue. That is just out and out fatigue. And it's the hammering, the beating head on that these young men for the Warriors are taking that's making the difference. So you've got 50 seconds left to go in this third frame, and then you have 12 minutes of football left. And if you're a Tornado fan, you want to see more of that hammer.
36-27, Alcoa extends the lead to 9. My scoring summary sheet has 25 lines, Chuck. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough room tonight.
Well, we'll get you a marker and you can clear some forearm. You're going to need more space.
A shootout at Goddard Field. Here's the Castro Blevins Paint Center kickoff, fielded at the 25 and then pushed back. That was number 16, Davis Howell.
Yeah, and they have replaced those 2 ends with the fellows that are playing the skill positions on offense. That's where they had the bobbles earlier in the game. They've shored that up by just simply putting different personnel in there. So here comes Epperly. Can they get pressure on him? Warren's been able to do so in a brief period, but Warren has to have time to breathe, and he gets it here as he's sub 4.
44 seconds to go, third quarter. 9-point edge for Alcoa. Epperly in the gun. He's going to look left, throw across the middle past the 35 to the 36-yard line. Gain of right at 10 yards. We'll wait for the spot to make sure.
These wideouts, Norm, have been coached to get back into the line of vision for that quarterback. And don't make him find you. And don't simply come back up the field. Cross his path of vision. he's got other problems to deal with. Get in his field of view, and boy, what a good job they've done.
10 yards and a Johnson and Blair 9 yards, so 2nd and 1. Here's a delay give, and there's a Johnson and Blair first down, but not much more for the Warrior ball carrier before he's turned back by Alcoa.
That's it. That's unbelievable 3 quarters.
We've played 3. Alcoa by 9, 36-27 over CAK. Folks, don't go anywhere. The conclusion comes your way in a moment.
You can never get the card swipe in the first try. It's always upside down or backwards. Once you finally get it, the interrogation begins. All you really want is some gas. You answer all the questions and pump your gas, but what you don't get is your receipt. At Ken Joe Markets, we realize that it's the little things that can ruin your whole day. Visit any Ken Joe Market, and if you have to come inside for your receipt, we'll apologize. And then we'll buy you a cup of coffee or the fountain drink of your choice. Because whenever you see the running Indian, we want you to think about convenience, not inconvenience.
Want to save big on your phone bill every month? A lot of people do, and they're switching to Charter Phone.
My friends and family are all over the place, so I had a big expensive plan for my old phone company. But I'd never rely on just my cell phone, so to save, I switched to Charter Phone. Now I talk to anyone, anytime, for one low price.
Switch to Charter Phone. You'll keep the same phone, same number, same clear sound, and more, all at a lower price. Only $29.99 a month. With a 2-hour appointment window, the switch is easy. Call now.
4th quarter underway, and it's 1st and 10 for the Warriors of CAK from their own 47. Check that 37. Epperly has some time. Now he doesn't. Taking him down for a loss. That's number 33 for Alcoa, Gerard rather.
Yeah, Gerard was just assigned to mirror Epperly. We're going to go after him. We're going to cross patterns on that front line. We're going to do a little something different, and you're going to stay at home and make sure that he doesn't step into the crease and find daylight.
They'll give him 1, bring up 2nd and 9 at the 38. I'm sorry, loss of 4. What am I saying? Back to the 33. Epperly out of the gun. Pass complete and incomplete. Had it for a moment, did number 5, Franklin Murchison, but broken up by Isom. Let's check in with Roddy Woods.
Thanks, guys. Overheard a conversation with Coach Bradley with his team right there at the beginning of the 4th quarter. He told them to quit looking at the scoreboard because right now they're in this game and they can win this game. Quit looking at the scoreboard and continue to play CAK football. Back to you guys.
Man on the spot, Roddy Woods got his ears on down there.
He's telling them right. These kids are for real.
3rd and 14 from the 33. And whistle stops play before the snap, and
well, that's 2 of them.
Looks like a timeout.
Yeah. And Alcoa, if you look at the bottom portion of your screen again, that small number near the score, that's timeouts left. They've used 2 of their 3 have Alcoa. I know you can't take them home with you, but I doubt seriously if Coach Rankin intended to be out of them with this much time left to go in this tight of football game.
11 minutes, 4 seconds remaining, 36-27, 9-point lead for the Tornadoes. We've told you several times, but it bears repeating. Both teams 9-0 overall, 4-0 in the district. Alcoa ranked number 1 in the state in Class 3A, I'm sorry. And CAK ranked number 2 in the state in the classification.
And of course, by the time you see this rebroadcast, you're going to already know that both of these teams are already assured a spot in the playoffs. But where? What draw? What quadrant? Where are they? All of that remains to be seen.
3rd and 14 for Epperly and the Warriors.
One of these teams has to be the number 1 in quadrant.
I would imagine so.
I guess that's quadrant 1. It may be 2.
Amberley's going to drop back. He's going to be flushed from the pocket, stays behind the line, lofts it up downfield, intercepted. Number 34 for Alcoa, Cody Lewis, picks it off, and Alcoa gets it back.
Well, maybe trying to do a little too much.
Amberley doing a great job staying behind the line of scrimmage, but just not enough on it, and a big vertical by Lewis, and the Alcoa pick, 1st and 10 from the 37.
He's had a tendency to get just a little too much air under the ball and be a little too soft. Honestly thought on the long touchdown pass earlier he was guilty of that, but got away with it.
Pitch back Hambrick. Watch this. Hambrick to the 40. He's found another gear, but taken down at the 10.
Yeah, if you want to run that play back for us, let's everybody watch that lead block by Taharin Tyson and understand again why you have to line up. Watch Tyson. Bam. Knocks the middle linebacker out. That linebacker has played a whale of a football game. Tyler Eichholz has been all over the football. So when you can get him knocked out of that running lane, and they can, they have room to move.
53 yards and a Johnson and Blair 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes as Hambrick turns on the Jets. Just inside the 10-yard line, Alcoa cannot get a first down, and Warren, the workhorse, moves it a few yards closer.
Well, it looks like Tyson may be suffering from some cramps over there now. Just by the way he jumped up and looked like he was favoring a hamstring there, or maybe a gastroc potentially, just by the way he was stretching.
They're going to credit Warren with 6 on the carry, so it moves it down to the 4 where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, they've not taken him out. Maybe he's got an ankle that's bothering him. If he's got a cramp, he may come out of his stance.
Warren gets in from the 4-yard line. Touchdown, Alcoa.
I've never seen a group of that muscular kids this late in the year having cramps all together. Somebody in the stands better choose up sides and go buy them some cranberry juice or something.
I always heard bananas, but I guess that works too.
I have no idea. The point being, they need to look at some nutritional options for this coming week.
Castro's PAT is up and good. And the score, 43-27, a timeout. We're back in a moment.
You can never get the card swipe in the first try. It's always upside down or backwards. Once you finally get it, the interrogation begins. All you really want is some gas. You answer all the questions and pump your gas, but what you don't get is your receipt. At Ken Joe Markets, we realize that it's the little things that can ruin your whole day. Visit any Ken Joe Market, and if you have to come inside for your receipt, we'll apologize. And then we'll buy you a cup of coffee or the fountain drink of your choice. Because whenever you see the running Indian, we want you to think about convenience, not inconvenience.
43-27, Darrell Warren. A touchdown run from 4 yards out, and that's his 4th touchdown of the game.
Hey, show us that Alcoa bunch huddled up over there. Can anybody zoom in on that? Oh, we're about to miss it. Oh, we're about to miss it. You see in the pink jersey there trying to get off, not me, Lord have mercy. My mom don't even want to see that. Right there's the man we're looking at. See him right there? That may be the heart and soul, that water. He may need to doctor that up with some vitamins, King Vitamin.
That young man, Raheem Lewis, that you saw there in the pink shirt. We'll try to get another shot of him here in a moment. Here's the Blevins paint center kickoff. It's going to be high, short, fielded at the 25-yard line by CAK. And some running room up past the 40.
Yeah, that was Howell again, I believe.
16-yard return for the Warriors. And there you see.
Yeah, that young man brings a special spirit to that sideline over there. And it's a story that is heartwarming, and you get to see a young man participating and bringing only what he can to that Alcoa sideline.
Raheem Lewis. And he's getting the crowd fired up.
Raheem is a senior, is that right?
That's my understanding,
and I believe
yes.
that his number is painted out there on the field with the rest of those seniors.
It is. They've assigned him number 11. There's our hats off to Mr. Lewis. 1st and 10 from the 41 for CAK, and flag stop play.
Well, a little anxious that time. One of those extra wideouts in there, getting a shot at it. Just a little anxious.
Ball start. It's the offense.
Moves it back 5, 1st and 15. So from the 36, Epperly and company will operate. Trailing by 16 to the number 1 ranked team in the state in the classification. Here's a pass complete to the 39 and then blown up. Catching it number 7. That's Zach Scott with the tackle. Ezekiel Coco, the sophomore for Alcoa. They'll spot it on the 40, so a gain of 4.
Well, no, it's been more like 9 because they'd lost 5 yards.
I'm sorry, you're right.
No, and more than that.
Quinn Epperly pass right side incomplete. Intended for Murchison out there on the right side. Brings up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, your math was in fact better than mine. Those yard markers now have become increasingly difficult to see on the far side. So when we zoom in and give you a little tighter copy to give you a better vantage point, it's just difficult to find those yard markers. It does appear, though, on those crossing routes throughout the night, the Warriors have had little trouble finding the right mark, and they need one now just over 10 yards away.
11 to be exact from the 40-yard line, 3rd down.
So they have to cross midfield. But you would certainly expect they've got 2 downs to get that done.
Epperly going for way more than the first and almost intercepted again.
They got him.
And a flag comes in. Yep.
They've got him for holding. And Ezekiel Coco is going to be the man that got flagged. But I'm going to tell you, this coaching staff for the Warriors has been working that deep crew there, the deep judge. Several times they've hollered about men being held.
Pass interference against the defense. 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
And what they've been hollering is on those double moves on the outside, mostly away from where they're throwing the ball. They have been crying holding, and you know that's one of those where you keep talking about it and you heighten the official's awareness. You don't make the call for him, but you heighten his awareness, and if there is actually something that comes along, they're certainly more sensitive to be watching for that.
1st and 10 from the Alcoa 45. Only the 2nd penalty against the Tornadoes for a total of 20 yards. Still life left in him, and here's Epperly the pass. And inside the 40 goes Smith down about the 37-yard line.
Well, you saw Austin Talent come up, and he wanted to hit that kid so bad. And when he tried to put the brakes on, his feet went right out from under him. And I know Talent was wondering, where was the impact? I'm laid out here. I'm giving you everything I got. Where'd the impact go? It's probably good for both of them that they escaped that.
Pass play covers 7 yards to the 38, 2nd and 3. Epperly to the 35, and no more.
Pass complete.
Hal doing a good job that time getting down. Pretty good sized man to reach down and get that ball, pick it up 12 to 18 inches off the turf, maintain his balance. had nowhere to go when he turned, but he gave himself options and another good play.
So at the 35 of Johnson and Blair, 1st and 10 for the Warriors. .7:30 to go in the game. Epperly across the middle, complete. Howell has it near the 10. And Howell with another Johnson and Blair 1st down. Took a little punishment in getting it.
Well, that kid's up to about 125 yards receiving minimum. He's caught a half dozen balls now for nearly 20 yards.
That one good for 14.
So I'd say he's up around 125 at this point.
1st and 10 from the 21. CAK down by 16. Epperly to the end zone, complete at the 5. I had it going a little longer. That one came up short, and they're going to spot it at the 5 as he throws down to number 7, Zach Scott. So a gain of 16 and another Johnson and Blair 1st down. 6:45 to go. And the Warriors driving. Here's the fake handoff, pass into the end zone, incomplete. Through the hands of the intended receiver.
What happened to him?
Yeah, he went down pretty hard. That's going to be Howell.
No, he's not. He's just frustrated.
Yep. 2nd down from the 6.
Well, maybe he is holding his hip a little funny. Maybe he took a nasty spill. He did lay out. When he first bounced up, I thought the ball caught his fingers funny. It looked like he was holding a finger. He's not right, you can see, but
2nd and goal from the 5. 6:31 to go. Epperly changing the play. Here's the give, and down near about the 4, maybe the 3.
Pregame carries. 3rd and goal from the 3.
Brings up 3rd. From the 3-yard line, so a gain of 2.
tight quarters here for Epperly.
Inside 6 minutes to go, and Epperly will work out of the gun. Smith near side. Pass across the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Davis Howell.
Gaining the inside. He's a big target, squared the numbers up, and Epperly there. Needs to get the 2-point conversion this time. It is crucial. You see the replay there as Howell steps across. He's not hit coming off the line of scrimmage. Turns and squares the 1-6 up. Gives Epperly a target, and he's been on target most of the game.
Two-point conversion attempt. Pass into the end zone. Incomplete. That's huge.
You ain't kidding, it's huge. And that's 2 good plays in this quarter by Cody Lewis. First getting the interception, and then able just to get just enough of that ball. In fact, even if that ball had been complete or caught, it would have been incomplete. The man would have been out of the back of the end zone due to Lewis's efforts.
So still a 2-possession ball game. A 10-point lead, 43-33 for Alcoa.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you have any choices here, obviously.
Right.
You do not. If Alcoa gets the ball back, barring some kind of crippling fumble, it's over. There is no answer on the field for the Warriors for what Alcoa can bring in a power game. Now, having said that, let's keep in mind you can always fumble. It's high school football. The snap can at times be an adventure. We haven't seen it tonight. And let's not forget that the entire backfield for the Alcoa seems to be suffering from cramps.
Here's a Blevins Paint Center kickoff. Looks like an onside kick. I think everyone in the stadium knows it.
You don't suppose he might turn and kick it back over here or something silly, do you?
Crazier things have happened. Oh, goodness, that's close.
Yeah, they got
CAK
it.
has it.
Yeah, they do.
Nope, Alcoa does. Initially, one official said CAK, but then I think once they cleared the pile, they realized Alcoa had it.
Yeah, I believe the young man from CAK had the first and best shot at the ball and just did not get a hold of it. Watch the hit that is delivered. Timely. Ball out. He missed it. He simply overshot it when he went down to the turf.
We're going to call this the 50-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. 5:40 to go in the game, and Alcoa with a 10-point advantage.
And Warren will have both arms around that pig, I'm sure, although he didn't.
Warren carries.
Warren down to the 44 for a gain of 6.
Second down.
Actually 5, so it'll bring up 2nd and 5. From the Catholic 40, there we go, CAK 45, the Warriors. Single back behind Talent, under center, gives to Tyson. And Tyson is carrying the CAK defense inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, got the first down, and then he picked up 6 with everybody hanging on him.
Johnson and Blair, first down, 10 yards to the 35. Watch this again.
Yeah, and you'll see him get to the 40. First down. Now watch. You see, getting some help. They got about 6 more. Well, they do mark it back, knee down, 5 yards additional. But that's the power game that they bring to the table.
First and 10 from the 35. Pitch back to Warren. The workhorse tonight gets a few more.
Well, Warren, if he does not lay the ball down at this point, given the one series where he created all the havoc on Epperly, getting to him, pressuring him, putting him on the turf, and handling the load in this second half, been instrumental in a big ball game.
2nd and 2, an 8-yard pickup by Warren. And again, a single back behind Talent. Alcoa looking to milk the clock. They stay on the ground with it. As Tyson carries.
First and 10.
That's going to be a Johnson and Blair first down. Ball spotted at the 19.
You know, just a couple of hours ago, I thought that Alcoa was the best team I'd ever seen at this division and this level, and that there was no way to stop them unless they stopped themselves. I think that myself, along with a lot of other people, would say now that there are teams out there that can give them all they can handle.
Tornadoes stay on the ground with it and just keep churning out a few more yards.
You think about a CAK team that is obviously undermanned physically by comparison. By comparison. Most Fridays that's not the case, but by comparison physically, they are outmanned. They have sophomores at their skilled positions if you exclude Epperly, the senior. And they have Epperly, who is as cool and crisp under fire as a good head of lettuce.
2nd and 1 from the 15. Talent to Tyson. And second effort, he's going to get it.
You're just beginning to see those big men on the front for CAK. The tank is empty, and understandably so. You spend a half of football tackling tackles who are running at you, showing you knee pads and shoulder pads. It gets tiresome.
Picks up 2 to the 13, a Johnson and Blair first down. With 2 minutes to go in the ball game. First and 10 from the 13, pitch back Warren. Does he have some left in him? He does. He knocks over a defender. He scores an Alcoa Tornado touchdown, his 5th of the night.
Well, I'm not sure how you'd have anybody but him as your player of the game.
Nope, he is.
And he sealed it.
A 13-yard touchdown for Darrell Warren, a PAT upcoming by Castro. Kick is up and it's good. It's 50-33 Alcoa. A quick timeout. We are back in a moment.
Passion, commitment, dedication, fairness, striving for excellence. These are the qualities of our local high school football players and programs, a pride that is ingrained into our efforts in our community. At Furniture Factory Outlet, we share these qualities in our service to you, and with our commitment to Friday Night Gridiron, we support our local community and all its players. After all, we're all part of the same team. Furniture Factory Outlet, a division of Fowler's Furniture.
1 minute, 43 seconds left in the ball game, 50-33. 17-point advantage for Alcoa, and they are on their way to going 10-0 regular season, 5-0 in the district, capturing the district championship, and really helping themselves out in the seeding for the playoffs.
Oh, I can assure you there are going to be people who will be hoping that these two will meet again.
Yep.
And I got a feeling I'll buy a ticket if that happens.
Another Blevins Paint Center kickoff upcoming by Robert Castro. Special thanks to Blevins Paint Center for sponsoring tonight's kickoffs. They have several times this year, and we appreciate their sponsorship, and I know they would appreciate your patronage. Here's the kick, fielded at the 10-yard line by CAK up to the 19, a return of 9, where it'll be first and 10.
You're talking about a Warrior team that put up 33 points. It's not over, but they put up 33 points, which is the opponent high against the Tornadoes this year, more than even the Rebels from crosstown were able to muster. And I'd say there are programs across the state that are going to say, we can move the ball like that too. Now, nobody has solved their running game yet, but you did find a little bit of chink in the armor here.
First and 10 from the 19, Epperly. Out of the gun. He's going to throw out here, left side complete at the 23 and out past the 25. And the clock continues to run. Pass was caught by Zach Scott, the senior. And they're going to spot that at the 27-yard line. 26, rather. That's going to be an 8-yard pass play. Epperly running for his life. Pass incomplete. While we have just a moment, a special thanks also going out to First and 10 sponsor for the year, Johnson & Blair Construction. With over 30 years combined experience, the professionals at Johnson & Blair Construction are the best in the area for new construction, additions, or remodeling projects. A Johnson & Blair project is one you'll be happy with today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Call them for a free estimate, 335-8284. That's Johnson & Blair Construction. 61 seconds to go in this one. And CAK with the ball on a 3rd and 2, trailing 50-33. Pass complete and then smothered. Smothered at the 25.
To Pregame from down by Patrick.
Ingram with the reception and then bowled over. That brings up a 4th down and 2 yards to go. Check that 4th down and 4 on a -2 on the pass play. With 26 seconds to go.
Norman, you know, last year we opened up our broadcast relationship with what I thought was one of the best games I'd seen, the Maryville-Alcoa game. But I think that we have eclipsed that tonight, given what's on the line, given the rankings, the parity in school size, undefeated all the way through week 9. I think we found the game.
Well, right now, a little special part of tonight's game. Alcoa using their last timeout to recognize their seniors. You see the A for Alcoa in the center of the field painted pink. There's some numbers there painted in pink as well here and there on the field. Those are numbers of the seniors, and they call a timeout long enough to go stand on their number and be recognized, in addition to recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And again, Raheem Lewis, one of those young men recognized in charge of hydration for the Tornadoes, and we salute him as well, as we do all the seniors. Here's a punt that goes very high, and with 16 seconds left, Alcoa will just need to take a knee and put this game in the win column. Darrell Warren, our player of the game tonight, brought to you by Clayton's Wholesale Furniture. Roddy Woods will catch up with him, as well as Coach Gary Rankin in our Adidas postgame wrap-up show. Stay tuned for that.
And that'll be the final play of the game with the score.
That's amazing. What a football game.
33.
Let us hope that these two teams fare well enough to meet again, because I think they are the class of the area by far in these classifications.
Well, 50-33 your final, and what you didn't see there, just out of frame, Darrell Warren for Alcoa sort of squatting down, looked like he was catching a breath, and Zach Scott, the senior, one of the seniors for CAK, giving him a pat on the back and saying good game, and just great sportsmanship by both teams. I tell you what, this is just a great way to end this 2010 campaign of Friday Night Gridiron. Just a shootout tonight at Goddard Field between the Tornadoes and the Warriors of CAK. And there's Taharin Tyson, just ecstatic as Alcoa goes perfect in the regular season, 10-0, and puts a cap on the district record of 5-0 here this year. Again, Alcoa ranked number 1 in the state in the classification. CAK came in ranked number 2, and right now let's check in with Roddy Woods as he has Coach Gary Rankin.
Thanks, guys. I'm with winning head coach at Alcoa Tornadoes, Coach Gary Rankin. Coach, a hard-fought game from CAK.
It was a crazy first half. You know, we thought we was about to get in control, and we fumbled a punt, and then they knocked the ball up in there and caught it there. But it was a great game, great game.
You guys come out in the third quarter and just establish what Alcoa does, is run the football.
I think we played exceptionally good the first half. You know, we had started the game off with a penalty and then something else, but. You know, it's a battle. They're a good football team, well coached. It was a battle.
You look to see them again in the playoffs?
Could happen, yeah. I think it probably could happen, yeah.
Coach, go celebrate this. That's Coach Gary Rankin of the Alcoa Tornadoes. Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Roddy, and our appreciation to Coach Rankin. You know, at this juncture of a game, right after a game, a coach wants to be with his team, and he wants to say some final words, win or lose. And for a coach to take time to talk to Roddy and talk to us at that point, you know, our hats are off to not only Coach Gary Rankin, but all our coaches from all of our teams this year, and just very thankful that they could do that. You see Coach Rankin talking to the team right now following tonight's 50-33 victory. And as he said, a hard-fought game, and would love to have been a fly on the wall at halftime and heard those motivational words from Coach Gary Rankin.
Well, you know, this is probably a good experience for both clubs. He's been able to show them that, folks, you're not invincible.
Right.
The other side got a chance to see we can go to their environment and we can play with them. The last score got away from them, fatigue. You know, the situation was not manageable.
Right.
You take that one away, well-fought ball game. You did have the tip pass at the end of the half that helped the scoring. I'm still convinced they should have kicked and played the percentages there. Their coach knows what they want to do. He knows what personnel they have. And you may hear us with those opinions. Moreover, you may hear me with that opinion. But I'm not with those kids every day. I don't know what their mindset is, and it is so easy to second-guess somebody. You know, the crucial thing is, can you make that call? You know your personnel. And, friends, if you don't think that guy got the most out of his personnel, you've not seen a lot of football.
Let's check in right now with Roddy Woods, as he has a special young man tonight. 5 touchdowns for Darrell Warren. He is tonight's Clayton's Furniture Player of the Game.
Thanks, guys. I'm with the Clayton's Furniture Player of the Game, Darrell Warren. Sweet.
Well, you know, they're a heck of a team. You know, we knew it was going to be a challenge coming out here. They wasn't going to, you know, lay down on us. You know, we watched film on them, and, you know, they were great. So we knew we had to game plan them well and come out and get after the quarterback and, you know, stop the pass and the run. But they made some plays, but we held our ground, so that's all that matters.
You come out of this game with 5 touchdowns. The longest was a 62-yard run. What was the best you thought was the best touchdown you ran?
Probably that one.
62-yarder?
62-yarder. It's just the reason I said that was because it was at the point in the game. You know, I think we were up by a touchdown. So, you know, I felt like I had to score. You know, I wasn't going to go down. I just kept my legs driving and got the score. You know, my offensive line, everybody blocked well. So, you know, all that goes to them. And I'm just grateful I got in. You know, I'm glad we got this victory tonight.
Good win. That's your Clayton's Furniture Player of the Game right there. That speaks what volumes. 5 touchdowns, the longest a 62-yard run. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Roddy. And Clayton's Furniture is our sponsor of our Player of the Game, has been all year. And this reminder, they're family-owned and operated, and they've been providing customers with the best in living room, bedroom, and dining room furniture for many years. With name brands such as Flex Steel, Ashley, American Drew, and Benchcraft, you'll find the perfect piece to accent your home. Visit Clayton's Furniture today, 517 North Gay Street in Knoxville. Call them at 522-0881. Again, the final 50-33. Alcoa improves to 10-0, 5-0 on the district in the district record. Perfect in that mark as well. And CAK falls to 9-1 and 5-1. I'm sorry, Alcoa 6. No, that's right, 5-0. CAK falls to 4-1 in the district.
Go.
I got it. Said a lot of words tonight, a lot of scoring tonight.
A lot of scoring tonight indeed.
I'm out of breath like Darrell Warren.
Well, then let me do this. Hold on. Just watch me reach over. Frankie Turner, let me tell you something. For 2 years, I have eaten enough Chick-fil-A to fill a coupe full of chickens. I had enough tenders this evening here probably to sink a canoe. Thank you to those folks. You want to talk about party platters, all those things he mentions every Friday. I order them and take them into lunch. Surprise the folks on Monday. Get you some chicken minis. I can eat about a dozen of them in one set. Thank you so much for, again, feeding me. I guess they enjoyed it too, but boy, I loved it.
We enjoyed it as well, and you
Absolutely.
will too. Frankie Turner, Chick-fil-A, Hunter's Crossing, go see him and his staff. Also, another special thanks, Anderson Rental Company, Arthur Campbell and his staff taking care of the Friday Night Gridiron crew. A lot of the shots that you see each and every Tuesday night here on Friday Night Gridiron comes courtesy of that camera sitting on top of that scissor lift. You probably don't need a scissor lift at home, but they have a lot of stuff that you might. In fact, they're Blount County's only authorized Echo dealer. If you have a zero-turn mower that you need serviced here at the end of mowing season, take it over there. They'll take care of it. You can put it up, and it'll be ready to go for next year's mowing season. Again, Arthur Campbell and his staff at Anderson Rental Center in Alcoa. Right now, a break on the Adidas postgame wrap-up. When we come back, we'll run down the scoring. There's a lot of it. We'll also take a look at final stats and a few parting words here on Friday Night Gridiron.
Where can you find 8 great car dealers in one convenient location? Only on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. We're still East Tennessee's premier car shopping destination and have been for over 35 years. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, you'd be crazy not to check out the great prices and huge selection on the world-famous Airport Motor Mile. And now's the time, because we're dealing like we've never dealt before. Don't pay more for your next vehicle. Visit the world-famous Airport Motor Mile today.
Throw your hands up, pitch your fist with pride. Hold your head high, no need to hide. EVOLVE, come on, get inside, come on, ride with me. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. You gotta evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve.
The Warriors of CAK take the field. The Tornadoes taking the field to kick off, but when they do, they average 31 yards per return, and they're getting their average and more this time. To the 40, down to the 30, to the 20. Here's a kickoff return.
Dominant right arm.
2nd and 3 from the 3. Pass out of the gun. He's going to fake left.
That made that decision for Coach Bradley. Look here.
Carefully checking the set, now dropping back. Pass is incomplete, complete inside the 10, 5, touch. Receivers 2 split left, 1 top of the screen right. Hambrick, a little delay give. He's going to get inside the 30, 25-20. He's going to score an Alcoa. 1st and 2 from the 2, the handoff, touchdown. The first half as Epperly drops back. Looks, deep, pass to the end zone. Tipped, touchdown, CAK! Out of the gun, Warren on the inside, takes him down for a sack. Check that, Warren, the tailback. He's going to get it. He's going to score. He's going to go deep. Pass into the end zone. Touchdown, CAK! Carried by Tyson. Here is Warren with it, and he moves it up past the 45 into CAK territory. Has his eyes on the end zone. He's going to make it. Touchdown, Darrell Warren, and he's out of gas, Chuck. Warren gets in from the 4-yard line. Pass across the middle into the end zone. Touchdown in from the 13. Pitch back Warren. Does he have some left in him? He does. Welcome to the Adidas postgame wrap-up. For over 80 years, Adidas has been part of the world of sports on every level, delivering state-of-the-art sports footwear, apparel, and accessories. Today, the Adidas Group is a global leader in the sporting goods industry, and they offer a broad portfolio of products. Adidas, the official outfitter of Friday Night Gridiron. And that, folks, was probably the longest highlight reel in our Adidas postgame wrap-up of the year. That's what happens when 83 points gets put up on the board. It's the final score 50-33 as Alcoa defeats CAK tonight here at Goddard Field to go 10-0 and 5-0 in the district on the year. Roddy Woods joins us here on set on the postgame wrap-up. And, Roddy, your thoughts on tonight's matchup, one of our best all season?
Well, Norman, to start out, we talked to both coaches prior to the game, and they both talked about how this game meant so much to both programs, and it lived up to every bit of it. You had Warren with 5 touchdowns. You had the CAK quarterback that just took them down the field time after time after time. And I asked the question at halftime, why did you not go for it on